the greatest virtual 40K player in the world in this very event, the Seasonal Invitational Tournament. With hundreds of players and dozens of tournaments competing on the ladder in Season 2, T5S2 is now one of the largest and most competitive series in online Warhammer and shows no signs of slowing down, so what are you waiting for? Visit tts40k.com to view live standings, join the community Discord server, and get information on upcoming events and tournaments. There is glory to be won on this virtual battlefield, Commander. Do you have what it takes to compete? Want to get involved in T5S2 or events run by Tactical Tortoise? Visit the Tactical Tortoise Discord server on the link found on tts40k.com or down in the video description. There you can find signups for all manner of tournaments and casual events, including the T5S2 Youngblood series of free, new player-friendly events designed to introduce you to 9th edition and experiment with new lists. For those looking for more competitive action, rapid-fire tournament pods are currently available that award prize support and standings points and help you hone your skills to a knife's edge. And stay tuned for even more exciting events as we enter T5S2 Season 3, including online GTs and free weekly tournament pods launching shortly after the conclusion of the Invitational on February 7th. See you there. T5S2 stands for the Tactical Tortoise Tabletop Simulator Tournament Series. It is a global competitive 40K circuit that ranks players based on the results in online games, including events run by Tactical Tortoise and many other communities. At the end of each biannual season, the top 16 players in the series are given the opportunity to play for the title of Season Champion and become the greatest virtual 40K player in the world in this very event, the Seasonal Invitational Tournament. With hundreds of players and dozens of tournaments competing on the ladder in Season 2, T5S2 is now one of the largest and most competitive series in online Warhammer and shows no signs of slowing down, so what are you waiting for? Visit tts40k.com to view live standings, join the community Discord server, and get information on upcoming events and tournaments. There is glory to be won on this virtual battlefield, Commander. Do you have what it takes to compete? Want to get involved in T5S2 or events run by Tactical Tortoise? Visit the Tactical Tortoise Discord server on the link found on tts40k.com or down in the video description. There you can find signups for all manner of tournaments and casual events, including the T5S2 Youngblood series of free, new player-friendly events designed to introduce you to 9th edition and experiment with new lists. For those looking for more competitive action, rapid-fire tournament pods are currently available that award prize support and standings points and help you hone your skills to a knife's edge. And stay tuned for even more exciting events as we enter T5S2 Season 3, including online GTs and free weekly tournament pods launching shortly after the conclusion of the Invitational on February 7th. See you there. T5S2 Invitational Grand Finals. These are the greatest players to ever play Tabletop Simulator 40K, and we are absolutely blessed to have them on stream today.
I got my sunglasses. It's gonna be a scorcher.
I will cut all of you!
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the stream, and welcome also to, I guess, what is unofficially the beginning of T5S2 Season 3. We are wrapped up with Season 2. The players' invites have been dispatched. They have been accepted. Lists are starting to come in, and this Saturday, we start coverage of T5S2 Season 2. We should have some list discussion videos up that day, and then I think 8 p.m. Eastern Standard is going to be the first game of the Season 2 Invitational, which is going to be sick. I might be joined for that game. I don't know yet, but I definitely am joined for this game by Shuma. How's it going, Shuma?
Yeah, it's going pretty good.
Thanks for hanging out with me for this game. This is very much just going to be sort of a stress test to make sure that we can stream to multiple services without an issue. So it's not going to be super official or particularly competitive, but we'll see how it goes.
A lot of new stuff here. New map. Got new stream layout.
Yes.
A new army.
Yep. So we have Ash C, also known as Kian Tan, who is a Season 2 Invitational invitee, playing Death Guard over here, a.k.a. Rentar in the blue, versus in the red. We have Elu, another T5S2 player who volunteered to play the game. He's playing Blood Angels over here, appropriately in the red. And yeah, we're playing Retrieval Mission on a new map for Season 3. That'll be in the map pool, and you can actually download this one right now if you join us in the Discord. If you're on the Twitch, you can !Discord in the chat. I don't think I have that set up on YouTube yet, but I'm sure you can find it. TTS40k.com, and there's a link to it right at the top. You can download them right now in the T5S2 resources channel. They're under all the links to them are there. Thanks for the subs in YouTube, everybody. Holy crap. Ashley Russell, Elliot, and Aaron, thanks for the subs. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining us for this game. I think it's going to be a fun one, and I'm excited to see how it goes down. We got some new Death Guard here, and so I'm excited to have Shuma on because Shuma puts a lot of brain power into thinking about Death Guard, like just constantly sort of wistfully looking, kind of out the window dramatically as the rain pitter-patters against the pane. And he's just fantasizing about Mortarion.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a poor man looking inside of a store window, over here in camp, the Camp Chaos Demon book, just plucking little things out. Like sometimes when the shopkeep's not looking, I sneak in, I steal some shoes, and I put them, on the list I play. You
certainly own more points of Death Guard than you do Chaos Demons, I think.
That is
in real life dollars.
True by roughly 100 points. No, maybe not in real life dollars, because I
guess in real life,
like $21 on eBay.
In real life models, I guess I should have said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ken plays basically whatever. And she's been playing a lot, playtesting a lot with the new Death Guard. Really interesting build. She's essentially using a Tallyman combo build to run a gun line, basically using Tallyman to run these Chaos Contemptor Dreadnoughts from IAC, and using twin Volkite Culverins on these bad boys. Interestingly, their flat profile is not very good in the mirror match. It's a strength 6, no AP for 2 damage, so it gets reduced to 1. But the special ability of the Volkite Culverin is that it drops a mortal wound into for every 6 that they roll to wound. And each of them have 2 of them, so they're shooting 16 times, hitting on 2s thanks to the Tallyman's aura, with exploding 6s thanks to the Tollkeeper relic. So it's like, it's a lot of DACA coming out of these guys. What do you think of this combo, Shuma?
Well, I think that I like the secret sauce, which is the Chaos Hellblade?
The Hell Blade, yes. I think the Talon's like a bomber. Yeah.
Okay. The Chaos Death Guard contagions do apply to flyers. The Hellblade is a very fast flyer, and it's the only flyer I believe that's reasonably available to the Death Guard. You can't take Helldrakes in this. So, the fun trick with it is you slam it right into your opponent's army turn 1, strat to double the range on its contagion, and then fire at whatever it's standing next to for the net effect of the wide -1 toughness aura, which combos pretty well with quite a few guns that are available to these dreadnoughts here.
Yeah, I think the entirety of the combo is that we're going to cast a psychic power on it to increase the increase the range of its contagions by 3 inches. I think is the effect of the psychic power, or 6 inches to a maximum of 12. I think is the full psychic power, and then we're going to use Flash Outbreak on it to give it every single contagion aura on the table. Which is cool because not only does it then get the contagion of Nurgle -1 toughness aura for being a pure Death Guard army, but it also gets whatever Mortarion has picked from his Host of Plagues special rule. So the interesting combos are you can play it with the droning, so you have everyone's movement in your opponent's entire army. Especially if you go second.
That ability is terrifying.
Yeah, because Doctrines, the contagions tick up at the start of the battle round. So if you run the Hell Talon up bottom of turn 1 and put it in the middle of your opponent's army and Flash Outbreak it, as soon as your opponent's movement phase begins, it ticks up the contagion aura and it becomes larger. So at that point, I think it's a 9-inch aura of half movement off of this thing. Which is gross. I mean, it immediately dies, but it's already done its job because it affects you in the movement phase. And also it shot you with its guns, which is fine. And I think they're relatively inexpensive, though, 120 points or so for the Hellblade.
They're a good combo with the Plague Burst Crawler. The -1 toughness is great when you have guns that are sitting on breakpoints like Strength 8. It allows it to wound any T8 vehicle on 3s with both its las cannons. What are those?
The entropy cannons?
What are they called? Yeah, the entropy cannons as well as the mortar itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, is there any synergy with the dreadnoughts there, or were those guns strength 6?
Which guns? Oh, the Volkite? Yeah, the Volkite is strength 6, so...
Okay,
if you're hitting toughness
there's
7,
no breakpoints there.
If you're hitting toughness 7, it's okay. Or toughness 4, it goes down to winning on 2s.
Or 12s.
Or
actually, yeah, 4 to 3. Actually, that's a strong breakpoint. Never mind.
Too bad the Brayash Athmantle dream is dead, because otherwise we could have been getting that guy on 5s. Good God, Brayarth Ashmantle, you piece of garbage. Now we're always on 5s. Sad times. Yeah, so this is a really interesting combo list, and this is, I think, really what sort of competitive Death Guard lists are gonna be looking like. So just so that we can, if you're in the Discord, !lists will get you the lists, or not the Discord, excuse me, in the Twitch, ! lists will get you the Twitch on YouTube. They're in the video description.
We also shouldn't casually forget the man standing in the corner of the army as well.
Yeah, he is, fortunately in this army, and with this lighting, he is difficult to forget given how lime green this base is. That sure does stand out on the tabletop, let me tell you. But yeah, in totality, the list is obviously the Supreme Command bringing Mortarion, the one and only Mortarion, alongside a battalion detachment out of Death Guard. I don't know if she wrote down her Plague Host here. She didn't. Well, that's helpful. Thanks, everyone. She's got a Smash, sort of tanky Demon Prince, bringing Rotten Constitution, which is a +1 toughness, and you ignore AP 1 and 2, as well as a Suppurating Plate, so 2+ armor save with AP ignore 1 and 2. I know you like that combo a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's probably my favorite of the ones that require 0 support.
Yeah.
You smash them in there. You're ignoring Thunderhammers on the return. You're ignoring Astartes Chainswords, even under Assault Dock. It gives you a wide range of things that he can just perfectly safely walk into.
Yeah.
You still got to dodge.
Let loose with the flamethrower and the sword.
Yeah.
I mean, fortunately he's a monster now, right? So you can shoot the flamethrower in melee. Yeah. Get stuffed. Amazing.
No wings, though.
No
An interesting
wings.
breakpoint, you cannot take the flamethrower if you take wings now.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think for the most part, Mortarian's going to be more offensive in this list. So at least on turn 1 and maybe turn 2, the Demon Prince is going to be hanging out with the Contemptors. So he's going to be sort of relatively far back.
I imagine he stays with the Terminators all game. The Death Guard Demon Prince provides reroll bonuses specifically to core Death Guard units, not demons. So he's really just a giant captain.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, for this Death Guard list, anyway, the Chaos Contemptors are core. Otherwise, none of these combos would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, chat. That's what we were riffing on. I think I made a Brayarth Ashmantle joke in a video recently, and he is unfortunately only T7, not T9. Although you could still get him to T11. In fairness, so my joke still stands.
That's wrong. Saying for the co-host, he is the #1 GK player here. The #1 GK player is already the co-host, sir, of this stream.
Is it you? Are you the best Grenade
Yes.
player?
Yeah. Once you check BCP, I have over 10,000 wins, no losses. It's great nights.
Okay. Rounding out this list, we also have a Malignant Plague caster in here as well. 5
You
Plague
love that guy.
Marines.
He's a favorite of yours.
I love this guy. I mean, I just love the fact... Well, I think he's probably the most efficient HQ choice in the faction.
I'm excited for him to bring Vindicare Assassins back.
Yes.
This man is the most Vindicare assassinatable thing in the game.
Absolutely. Yeah, a little power armor guy with only 4 wounds. He is going to get shot right in his head. But until that happens, he's going to plank you for a mortal wound every time he rolls a 7+. But I mean, just as an offensive caster, like this guy can just jump out of his out of a transport or run up with Terminators or something like that. And as soon as you engage into the Death Guard army, if you make the mistake of engaging into the Death Guard army, he's just going to unleash mortal wounds onto you.
Yeah,
and I think that's
quite gross.
Yeah. We also have the two Contemptors, the Twin Volkites, and Cyclone Missile Launchers. We have 2 Tally Men, as well as Foul Blight Spawn with the Revolting Stench Vats Relic, as well as the Deadly Plague. Vicious Death. Oh, Viscous Death. It should be Viscous. It's misspelled in the list. I apologize, everyone. It's a handwritten list. What can you do? So that he's going to be able to reroll the number of shots with his gun. Also brings his gun to Strength 8, which is incredible. That guy's amazing. We have 3 Death Shroud Terminators. And interestingly, one of the Tally Men is bringing the droning himself. So we're going to automatically have access to the droning, which means we can probably also get Gloaming Bloat off Mortarian. And we can project 3 Contagion Auras from this Hellblade.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. It's
literally
slimy and gross.
The downside of that maneuver is you can only really pull it off. I mean, obviously, the plane just gets shot to death. That is... Yes. Hellblade is not the most resilient of platforms, but also it's fast-moving and has no real maneuverability abilities. Right. So, you land that in the first time. Even if it survives, it flies right away.
Is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just, I mean, it's dead, right? Like, you only get 1 use out of it regardless.
Well, yes and no. I mean, when you have a rampaging Mortarian slamming straight into the front of you the next turn, maybe all of your heavy guns have to go into that guy, and you just ignore the plane. Because, I mean, the plane, it leaves, the following turn anyway. Mm-hmm. It may well be that you cannot prioritize it.
Yeah. That's, you're not wrong. Rounding out the list, we have that Hellblade, obviously, and we have a Plague Burst Crawler with Entropy Cannons, which I think is a really interesting pick now, just if you need a little bit of fire support that kind of does its own thing. I think Plague Burst Crawler
I'm big
awesome.
On the TBC. And it's one of the few ways Death Guard can reasonably and cost-effectively hold their own back objectives without it also being very risky. Like, Cultists and Poxwalkers, very cheap, they have OBSEC, but also, like a Stiff Breeze will kill that entire unit.
Yes.
Whereas, like, a Raging Tornado might scratch the paint of a Plague Burst Crawler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're difficult to kill. So, like, I think the fact that it's Mortar is actually accurate now. It's gone down to a 3+ ballistic skill, and being a being a vehicle, it doesn't suffer the move and shoot penalty anymore. So you can just blast away with that thing, and it's not sort of like just comically inaccurate like it was in 8th edition.
It's not the speediest platform,
right? But it
gets the job done. And
it's certainly not going to go down to sort of random anti-tank. You need to really dedicate some fire to kill it.
And the entropy cannons themselves shouldn't be slept on. They're a very high damage gun that is, especially at the new ballistic skill 3 and with being a plague weapon, it's pretty reliable as long as you are getting the hits themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Downside
it's one of the few.
Was just the downside is that it's not core, so it doesn't benefit from any of the synergies that we built elsewhere in the
Unfortunately.
list. It just trundles around and shoots around, takes pop shots at people, so it's okay.
Essentially, no access to rerolls for the demon engines anywhere in the codex, but they feel great in the demon codex
for sure.
They are demons.
I'm gonna respond to chat real quick. Big thanks to
fully hidden?
He is, yeah. So we the new maps for T5S2 season. I mean, there's not a lot of guns in this. There are eradicators. Just kidding. There are a lot of guns in this list. The new maps for T5S2 season 3 are based largely on the WTC maps. So this is basically just a WTC map. We've done some sort of very minor editing to make them a little bit more playable for large vehicles and large models and things like that. But generally speaking, the big L's for WTC are very easy to hide these large models behind. So there's good places to put Magnus and Mortarion and Dimacarons. You can put 3 Dimacarons right here, chat, where this Blood Angels army is. I love it.
Who wins between 3 Demas and Morty here?
It is not the 3 Demas, let me tell you that. You know what Dimacarons really enjoy is being able to full reroll all their attacks. And you know what Mortarion does not let them do?
What is that?
Survive the game. He does not let them do that.
Oh, all right. It's good to know.
I want to give a big thanks to Gandhi for subscribing over on Twitch. That's awesome. Thanks for part of the plan for the follow. And thanks for everybody for chatting. Kasazi in the chat. How's it going?
You got Knight mentioned you could soup in some Demon Princes for rerolls. It's a pretty great idea, especially with Memon, our good friend. The fresh 130-point Demon Prince now. 60-point savings over anybody else. And that guy it's quite the little package. He has a very strong flamer, gives the Demon Engines reroll 1s.
I think it looks like that looks like Blood Angels winning the roll to go first. And yeah, they're off. There we go. So we are over to Blood Angels turn 1.
You think they wanted the turn 1, though? I feel like this might have been a situation, the rare situation, where you actually just gave it away.
We got a Forlorn Fury going on here, so I think we might be okay going first. Yeah. So we'll talk about this Blood Angels list as they do go through their first turn. Bringing in a single battalion detachment led by, I love this. I think we're just doing this for some flavor. Unfortunately, it's sort of hilariously bad in this matchup, but we are led by Commander Dante today, which is pretty cool. He, unfortunately, has brought Speed of the Primarch as his Warlord trait, which gives you the ability to always strike first, countered very neatly by the Foul Blight spawn in here with its Revolting Stench Vats, and making you always strike last. So, there you go. Womp womp.
I mean, that depends, though. I mean, Dante has, if anything, the ability to pick his targets. He's a very fast mover, and those Stench Vats only cover so much of the table, and they look like they're probably going to be walking up the middle. I doubt they're accompanying Mortarion.
Yeah, if there is a dramatic downside to Death Guard, it's that the entire army is move 5. So they are going to be outspeedied by Blood Angels pretty significantly. We also have a Librarian, importantly bringing Null Zone to the table, so we can potentially punch through Mortarion's Invulnerable save if we really need to. And we have a Sanguinary Priest following up as well with a jump pack. We're bringing 2, 3 Incursor squads, which I love to see. I think Incursors are great. A unit of 5, slightly more than 5 Death Company, 6 Death Company with 4 Thunderhammers. And a boatload of Sanguinary Guard. Alongside a Sanguinary Ancient. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 units of 7, it looks like. So 21 total Sanguinary Guard. 2 Eradicator squads to round things out. And hopefully give Mortarion the business if they get in close range there. Although, as we learned in the latest datasheet deep dive, it takes 24 Eradicators to kill Mortarion if he has Miasma up. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe they get nulls.
It's gonna be.
Who knows?
It's gonna be a team effort. Like I suspect in almost all situations, barring one, it is a team effort to kill Mortarion. Like if a unit can slam in 4 wounds, you count that as a victory because you got the rest of your army to try and do the rest.
Yep.
But even then, whole armies have shot at this man, and he has just wiped the dust off his shoulders.
Chat says not enough Sanguinary Guard today. I think that's probably fair. We always want to see more Sanguinary Guard.
It's fair, but the Encarmine Sword is a very unfortunate profile to throw at Death Guard. A flat 2 weapon, not great in the age of the -2 or -1 damage.
That is too bad. I was going into this thinking that all these were D3. Oh, no. That's last edition's Blood Angels. Uh-oh.
So they can take Power Fists as well, but you don't typically see them.
Right.
Because you don't want to take the -2 to hit.
Yeah.
But
they also cost extra points, which is, like, awkward.
I think they're the same now.
Oh, are they? Okay. Well, I should brush up on my Blood Angels. Excuse me, everyone.
I could be wrong, though. Oh, good good movement here on these Death Company.
Boom, here they come. Headrush720 with the subscription over on Twitch. I really appreciate it. And for those who don't know, one of the reasons that we're doing the stream today, not only to show off some sick Death Guard tech, which I think is awesome, but also because we just want to sort of stress test our multi-streaming for the Invitational happening this weekend, or starting this weekend. It's happening for the next 2 weeks, and so we're gonna run through this game using the setup we're gonna be using for the Invitational, making sure that nothing crashes. Basically. So far, so good. We're nailing it.
So we're looking at an oncoming good hit out of the Death Company into these Plague Marines. Death Company typically wouldn't fare extremely well. Like, they'd be okay into a Death or a Plague Marine profile. But with this many Thunderhammers in there, like, that's just a great little stat line for pushing the skulls of these old Plague Boys into their chests.
Yeah, I think Death Company, sort of one of the most dangerous units out of Blood Angels, especially into this matchup, because you can get so many of those flat 3 damage weapons to bear.
Yeah.
And if, given, I mean, like we talked about several times, Death Guard are not fast, right? So if you can knock out this Plague Marine squad, there's not a lot that threatens that, objective. At least for a turn or two until these Death Shroud run over.
Yeah, that's a difficult move and charge, even on this coming turn from the Death Shroud, especially if you can manage to get within an inch of the wall here so that they can't penetrate through.
Right.
The PVC could do a good number to this squad, though. I mean, that's essentially a D6 battle cannon backed by the 2 last cannons. That'll hurt. Right. And one of these Dreadnoughts can just pivot over and fire as well.
I think what we do
this might be just a trade.
We're probably gonna be aiming to engage that Plague Burst Crawler, so it has to choose between using the stratagem to shoot everything in melee, or falling back and letting the Volkite shoot at them. I kind of feel like you maybe just hope
that is a good stratagem, though.
It's a great stratagem.
That's not just a stratagem to shoot in close combat. It's a stratagem to shoot in close combat and also fire your blast weapons in close combat and also your +1 to hit. So it'll do more damage than it would have
Power
otherwise.
Fists are 5 points on Sanguinary Guard, so got him.
All right, thank you, chat. I got got.
You got.
I got.
Yeah, so the stratagem to fire melee is excellent, and I think while
is
the
that a trap?
Maybe?
Is touching this a trap? Would it kill the whole squad?
The Plague Burst Crawler?
Yeah, hitting on 2s.
Well,
with every weepon firing.
If you don't touch it, it just doesn't have to use the strat, right? So you might as well.
Well, then it only hits on 3s. Because Death Guard already innately ignore the heavy penalty for firing close combat on their vehicles.
That's true. You're not wrong. I do imagine that. They're probably going to be one in this building anyway, since you can get to a 2-up save against that Volkite, which will be useful. Essentially, this entire army is at a 2-up save, which is good until you hit melee, I think.
Yeah.
Given that
Death Guard have a lot of high AP values.
Yeah, for sure.
Except maybe these Contemptor Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, and their ranged attacks outside of the Plague Burst Crawler specifically, at least in this build, are not super AP dense. Although they are going to check out some Mortal Wounds, which is going to slowly rip apart the Sanguinary Guard.
Can Mortarion make the Sanguinary charge on his turn? Or is that just a bit too far? Because he can't go straight, I think, because he's going to be
He's
on
gonna
top
have
of
to
the
go
wall
this
here.
way, probably. Yeah, so it's probably a 7 or an 8. But I mean, you just like roll him in there anyway, right? Like, what's he doing if he's not tanking an entire charge from all of these Blood Angels?
Oh yeah, no, of course he's going to. I'm wondering about the placement of the Sanguinary Guard.
Yeah, it feels very aggressive. We do have two more, the other two units, as well as the Ancient, who I think has the banner for extra dice when you charge. They are coming in on the Deep Strike, so we are going to see some Sanguinary Guard. Regardless of what happens to this unit, we are going to see some Sanguinary Guard make contact. Where would you have liked to place these Sanguinary Guard? Would you have kept them back? I don't think Blood Angels quite have the threat range anymore. They used to. Clearly, you could just pick these guys up and immediately re-Deep Strike them. But maybe just siphoning them into this dead zone behind Objective 5. You probably only get hit by one Volkite maybe at that angle.
Yeah, I might try and put them on the left behind the forest by Objective 2, because they're not fast enough to take 2 on this turn, and Mortarian's just going to run out there. And if your plan is for them to try and mix it up with Mortarian, you at least need to be the one charging.
Right.
Having Mortarian run and hit you 21 times is not the best use of a very expensive squad full of 700-year-old beautiful vampire men. Like, that's
yeah, and
these guys don't grow on trees.
I think it's been said time and time again, but probably the best strategy against Mortarian is just to sort of fade him until he overextends.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if what's going to happen here is Mortarian moves forward. Maybe he makes his charge. Maybe he doesn't. Doesn't really matter. But then you run up the Blight Spawn behind the wall by Objective 2, and you just project that aura all the way over him. And now there's no way for these Blood Angels to engage profitably into that guy, because they're going to charge and he's going to hit them first, and he's going to kill like half the unit. Yeah.
I mean, the counter to that is you could just run them backwards at that point. Fire the Eradicators into him. Maybe spread the Incurses out to make a good engagement off him a little bit. Like, that guy's got a pie plate for a base. It's not super difficult to control his engagements. He'll kill most anything he touches. But as long as he's making trades with things that are a fourth his cost, you can eventually set the dominoes up to fall where you can pull him down over time. The issue is just placing an extremely expensive, very vulnerable squad out there to just try and trade with him, and then the Death Guard, that's the Death Guard's game, because they are the kings of trading.
Yeah.
On their own terms.
Yeah, all Death Guard want to set up is a situation where you're forced to come into their Death Ball, and then it's all over.
All right. This is an interesting... Okay, it looks like he actually is focusing the Plague Roar's Crawler itself in the charge rather than the Plague Marines. That's a great idea, actually, because you wrap the Plague Marines themselves, and they don't present remotely as much of a threat.
Yeah, I don't think that we have any special weapons in here. There may be a flail. Looks like we have a power sword on the demonic plague blade on the champion, but everyone else is just knives. So yeah, they're not hitting super hard on the swing back, but
don't be fooled by that demonic plague blade. It's basically just a chainsword. It's like a bad chainsword.
I want to talk about some of the questions in chat. Let's see. The Skedaddle asking if this map would be good for melee units. So much cover and everything. Just imagine moving a Haruspex from one to another. It is a little bit awkward for large, especially melee monsters like a Haruspex, because a lot of the terrain, the forests are difficult terrain, and everything else is a big wall, right? So
I didn't notice that. Yikes.
So this is a difficult one to get from side to side on, especially if you're like a big base monster like that. But in general, these WTC maps typically are very favorable for melee armies, or at least trying to make the game a little bit more favorable for them, because they do have a lot of avenues to move up the table while outside of cover. Will Harvey and Chad pointing out only vehicles with inexorable ignore the -1 to hit in shooting in melee from Big Guns Never Tire. And the
is that not the case for the?
I guess does not have inexorable.
How does that not have that's like the most inexorable. Inexorable was like underneath that guy's photo in the yearbook in high school.
Yeah, that's his quote of the year. All right, looks like we pinged this Plague Burst Crawler for 6.
That's not enough.
Not enough. Uh-oh. We're also,
it does bracket on its ballistic skill and does not heal.
We're also not wrapping these Plague
not nothing.
Plague Marines. That would have been
or even consolidating.
That would have been difficult,
all.
I think, to wrap the Plague Marines and get everybody attacking the Plague Crawler. I'm surprised that these guys didn't burn this thing down, but I guess the -1 to hit on Thunderhammers can be a little swingy.
Well, it's also -1 damage too, so they're only swinging in for two each.
Exactly.
On the plus side, we're not losing much back.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are no AP, right? And you're into swinging into Death Company, you can get a 5+ if they need to. I'm interested to see how the Blood Angels player navigates turn 2. I think that's going to be sort of when the battle is decided. E-Sing, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Essentially, we're just gonna have to force a situation where the Death Guard can't ball up into that death ball we were just talking about. Fortunately, retrieval mission is a pretty spread scenario, and usually you sort of fight 2 battles along the 2 sides, as we're sort of seeing here. I think the side with objectives 2 and 4 is going to be dominated by Mortarion, but the other side, the Death Company, are kind of just doing their thing. So they're we may be able to put the Death Guard in a situation where, like, maybe they fight through objectives 2 and 4, but if you just throw everything onto the other objectives and the Dreadnoughts are left unsupported, you're kind of off to the races. We are back over the Death Guard.
Just realized both these Dreadnoughts are going to be able to walk up and see the Sanguinary Guard and shoot them.
Yes.
Was there a worse place on this map, perhaps, that these could have been placed? Was this the single worst spot?
I think we may just be, like, eating it. The big issue, right, is that, like, the Volkite's going to drop their mortal wounds, which will suck for these guys. But they are on a 2-up save against the rod damage, and they have a damage ignore after that against the 2 damage. So it's not like they don't just fall over. And I think here comes the Hellblade. Zip. And I think that the Blood Angels players just started putting them out there and saying, I got to sacrifice something to force the Death Guard. Like, he's playing the aggro, matchup into the defensive seat that this Death Guard gunline has. And you have to force the Death Guard to do something and expose themselves. So I think he's just, like, sort of throwing these guys out here as a trade. We'll see if he...
Did this Librarian...
I don't know if the Librarian cast anything. We didn't see any... I
was wondering if he had already cast Null Zone, because that... is that a 3-inch range or 6-inch on that?
If I remember correctly, it's a 6.
So that could allow... I can't... What's the measurement on that? Like, if Mortarion does sink his fangs into this squad right now, would he just be putting himself within Null Zone of this Librarian to get slapped back?
The Blood Angels have fangs. The Mortarion doesn't. Hey, because they're vampires. It's because they're vampires.
He's like a stank fire.
I want to thank the Stranger for subscribing on Twitch. Really appreciate it. That is awesome. Chad, getting upset about that one. That's okay, Chad. I forgive you. Yeah, so definitely people pointing out the high AP is going to be really brutal against the Sanguinary Guard. But that's why we're saying that the Contemptor Dreadnoughts sort of hilariously have an AP0 main gun. Their missile launchers are going to suck. Although they are only AP2. That's none of the... Looks like maybe one guy is in the light cover over here, but the Volkites themselves, they're going to be dropping mortal wounds, but other than that, you have the damage ignore off the priest, and then also you're just a 2+ armor save to try to get through those.
3 casualties would also make this Mortarion charge impossible as well. So it may not even be the right move to target the squad at all.
Yeah, it may be correct to just pivot them and clean up these Death Company before they do more damage. Yeah. You also... it looks like the Plague Burst Crawler fell back. So that's, I think, going to open up these Contemptors to take a shot at them. But that would...
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the intention.
Yeah, that would... I think you really want that Plague Burst Crawler to survive, like we were just saying. It has a lot of AP 2 and 4 on its entropy cannons, and that'll kill the subsequent units of Sanguinary Guard coming out of the Deep Strike.
Cell Talon's up good.
Yeah, this is just a question in chat. Who's playing Blood Angels today? This is Elu, community member off of the Discord.
So this Hellblade has placed itself directly next to all three of these Eradicators, and I gotta wonder what they're going to be choosing to fire at in this coming turn.
Yeah,
they certainly will have
in the back
a hard choice.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to have much to do. Well, maybe
You think they're going to be out from they're out from Mortarion?
Well, as soon as they get half movement, yeah, they're not going anywhere.
Oh, you know what? That's fair.
Yeah, they live here now. You know. Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting game. I do think from the get-go, given all of the things we talked about before, we have Gloaming Bloat, we have the Stench Vats in this Death Guard list. It does feel like a very bad matchup for Blood Angels in particular. A faction that relies very largely on charging you and dealing damage in melee with rerolls from your Chapter Master. Which is not what we're really going to be doing.
Yeah.
Now. At least they didn't bring a bunch of Lightning Claws as well.
Would that not have been better?
Well,
I
not
suppose
against, not against the Gloaming Bloat. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but you get the +1 attack. I mean, if you could take those over an Uncarmine Sword, I mean, I might make that choice.
Yeah. I guess the +1 strength gets you winning on 5s. This might be okay.
They're already winning at +1 anyway, right?
So
I guess they're winning at 4s at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting somewhere.
There you go.
We just gotta hope this Librarian doesn't die.
Yeah.
Stay strong, Librarian. I also he has to get his Null Zone off through Mortarions. Not 1, not 2, but 3 denies, which is a lot.
Did I mention I've always loved the Hellblade? This model is so like 80s and cool.
It is super cool. I think before I even played 40K, I had looked at Forge World, back in the day when I was a kid, and I always thought that all of the Forge World Chaos Flyers were like real sick. They're like very sort of Star Trek sci-fi spaceships almost. Sort of this.
I think this is Star Trek. What?
Yeah.
What kind of Federation is this coming from?
No, it's all the aliens. They always got this like weird pointy. They got weird pointy ships all over the place.
Is this the Federation where like Picard had like a goatee?
Yeah.
It was the Mirror Universe, like the bad guys?
Yeah, it's a Terran Imperial fighter, How are we feeling about this matchup, chat? By the way,
we have Gift of Plagues.
There you go. Yeah, so that
the aura has begun.
Here we go. The aura-ing. Looks like.
Are you near this?
Oh no. So the incursors are half movement and then also in difficult terrain. So I believe that their movement is reduced to 1.
Are they half movement? They don't look like they're in the aura.
Oh, are they not? Let's do a top down here.
Look like they're just
no,
out.
They're out. You're right. They're out. They're safe. They get 5 additional inches of movement.
Look, having a 1-inch move. Sometimes I get out of bed and I'm just like, you know what? My fridge is more than 1 inch away. I'm just gonna stay here for a while, and that's okay.
Tim Tam says R.I.P. Blood Angels in this matchup, but Nugatti Knight says that the spread mission can make it hard for Mortarion, which I think is fair. And especially, I was interested to see the defensive deployment, the defensive placement on Mortarion here. I think Ash was trying to sort of fade the Forlorn Fury into a charge on turn 1 from the Death Company on Mortarion, because they do have weapons that could actually potentially deal damage to him. But there's, besides the Eradicators, which you can sort of just deploy a couple inches outside of range of, which they're not that fast, you can kind of just put him front and center in the middle, and then he can go whichever direction you want. I was curious, or I was interested that she put him by Objective 2 and just sort of, I guess, just declared that he was going to go along this side of the table and do his own thing.
Well, I imagine the largest brick wants to basically own this objective for the foreseeable future of the game, and Mortarion needed the ability to deploy out of line of sight, so that the places he could go is relatively constrained by just what else is in the army.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can envision, right, that Eradicators can't really... Also, I mean, you might just want the Eradicators to come out and shoot Mortarion top of one, because, like, there's no way they kill him. And so then you'll just get to pick them up with the PPC if it doesn't get engaged. But you could also just sort of place Mortarion, like, sort of out in the open. And because the Eradicators have to deploy in cover so that the Plague Burst Crawler doesn't immediately pick them up, I think you can foresee where they're gonna go, and I think a good place to put him maybe would have been between the two ruins by objectives 1 and 3.
Well, I mean, the Plague Burst Crawler already picks them up. Like the mortar doesn't need line of sight, so you're just dodging the 2 cannons.
It's only 2 damage though. You really want the entropy cannons to get in there.
Yeah. Well, it can be 3. 1 CP. And then it also does mortals to nearby squads too.
Mm-hmm.
They really took this Plague Burst Crawler from 0 to hero with this codex, in my mind.
For sure. Yeah, having a 3+ ballistic skill like multi-damage indirect fire weapon is just like not something that every faction can do. Oh, it looks like the Hellblade actually knocked an Eradicator out here, so good for that guy. You also can do damage as you're debuffing the entire other enemy army. Nugatti Knight asking if the Eradicators can reasonably sort of come out and shoot Mortarion. They don't really do much damage to him, to be honest.
Well, they don't need to come out and shoot him right now.
Yeah, I mean he's just right there. He's kind of asking for
it. They can hide behind this wall right here, and actually I think be unchargeable in the following turn if the incursus are placed right. So we could probably get 2 to 3 turns of action out of these Eradicators. Yeah, so the Eradicator squad by objective 4 here can fall back or pull back behind the wall and shoot at Mortarion through the windows, and there's not really much he can do against them, because he is going to be pretty far away to get a charge into there. It's probably an 8 or 9 inch charge to go at that angle. The other ones are going to be awkward because they are in the half movement aura now. Mm-hmm.
So it's unlikely that they can really push to get into range yet. I think they may be able to push to get line of sight, but they can't really get range.
Yeah, I wonder why they're... I suppose because the Sanguinary Guard were there before, right? But they didn't follow up to get closer to the wall, which seems like it just kind of let this happen. Maybe, I mean, like, we're all new against Death Guard. This is... And especially, like, a tricky maneuver like this with the plane slamming into you to half movement. Like, you haven't built that muscle memory to know when to place things to respond.
Right, yeah, I think the smart placement definitely would have been to put 1 unit behind the wall on objective 4 and the other 1 unit behind the wall by objective 5. This big L here, and then there's no way you can catch both units in the aura. I mean, obviously, not both of them aren't hidden in the aura, but you have to force that Hell Talon to go one way or another. And you can also, if you like, chain the Sanguinary Guard back, and we actually may see it here. You can try to at least threaten a heroic intervention onto the Hell Talon or the Hellblade. Mm-hmm. Although if I remember correctly, the new heroic intervention off the Sanguinary Guard only actually travels 3 inches. It just triggers at 6, which is awkward. I'm going to send it back to the players' mics here while they finish out their shooting phase.
2 damage each.
Looks like this is Volkite Chargers, I think, going into the Death Company.
1 by 1, 2 damage each. You have a wounded Death Company.
We've lost 1 so far. I think previously from the Volkite Chargers.
2 at a time. Not 1. But, okay, that guy dies.
Yep.
Okay, next one.
Second Death Company also dies.
And then 3 mortal wounds after.
Oof, 3 mortal wounds off the Volkites from that shooting. So we lose 2 Death Company to the raw damage, but now the mortals are going to come in and probably finish off another 1 or 2.
Yeah, this is not the trade you were hoping for.
Yeah.
When you said these Death Company Marines in.
I think that CP chat was definitely for the damage the damage ignore roll on the Death Company. Not that really helped them right there. You almost can almost just forget about that one. Honestly,
on 3, rolling 1s.
I think these guys are dead. Oh, this exploding 6 though.
Explode.
Yikes.
The Tallyman combo is real, chat.
No AP.
Now, are those Volkites unmodified 6s, or is the Tallyman buffing them?
It is unmodified 6s, so they don't explode
Okay.
on 5s. Thank the Emperor.
How many multiple ones was it?
Yeah, there's
Two multiples.
no Crimson
then
Crown
close
combo
one,
here.
And then
Yeah.
and then one more dice from
Could you imagine if they rolled that again? Oh no. Oh, that
And
would've
then
been
the
brutal.
frag missiles into your Death Company. So 11 shots.
Casual 11 shots out of the frag missiles, whatever. To kill one
Easy.
Death Company.
Hitting on 2.
Easy.
You're rolling
Ah!
once.
Good thing Tallyman's here.
Sixes explode. And
That would've been a lot of
moving
misses.
On 3s. So that many saves on your Death Company, man.
Ganti, what's the best Space Marine chapter at the
I
moment?
don't think this is an easy.
That's an interesting question. I think White Scars are certainly in the discussion. They are a little like sort of they're kind of straightforward and one-sided, but their game plan is very strong. They're very fast and they hit super hard in melee, especially once you get Assault Doctrine going.
So I think that question gets a little bit complicated, blah, because White Scars don't feel that great into Death Guard, especially as compared to some other Marine factions.
Yeah,
Like, they relied so heavily on the Lightning Claws flipping up to 2 damage,
yeah.
or the
just
the
have to
Outriders flipping up to 2 damage.
We'll have to see how like their lists adapt because I think you can probably still run a bunch of Thunderhammers and be fine. And White Scars are certainly an army, like we were saying before, where I think Death Guard have the potential to just be outmaneuvered and outplayed. And if anybody can do that, it's White Scars. You know,
That's true, but also White Scars are also an army that kind of relies on the Alpha Strike in close combat for their damage output, which is something that, you know, the Death Guard of all armies are the ones that kind of will always win that trade.
Yeah.
So you're sort of left with only one leg to stand on, which is trying to outmaneuver and take side objectives, and you're sort of relying on your opponent being unable to maneuver. Which certainly, if someone just has like 2 large bricks of Terminators and that's their entire army, that might be the case. But I get the feeling like with the very Death Guard builds that will probably come up, that might end up being a pretty bad game plan.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it shakes out. They're the faction, the sub-faction that I believe has been performing the most, at least recently. They have good matchups into Harlequins, and they're okay into Sisters of Battle. The other one that's seeing a big resurgence in play is Iron Hands, especially Iron Hand successors. If I were to pick one Space Marine chapter to be the best, I think it would be Iron Hands. But
That's my vote right there.
Yeah.
Them or possibly current Dark Angels, because I feel like Dark Angels play the kind of attritional game
It's probably Dark Angels.
very well into Death Guard.
Dark Angels are excellent, and Iron Hands are excellent, and I think the Iron Hand builds that are sort of slowly becoming more popular are super duper good.
Yeah, and they're also not affected by this new meta. I mean, obviously, being made to go last that affects anybody who's trying to run a Vanguard veteran, but by just relying on a trillion
and even
one damage
being
attacks,
made to go last and not counting as charging, so you don't get your +1 attack or +1 to hit from Born Heroes. It is kind of brutal, but they could just shoot you with a gun, you know. Like,
exactly. They have the ranged output to kind of solve for the matchup weakness in close combat.
Yeah, and even I've talked to some Iron Hand players recently and about the Death Guard matchup in particular, because a lot of Iron Hands players are relying on Dev drop pods to Alpha Strike on turn 1, and having the damage on those is brutal. But they're like, well, I also just shoot 20 times, so it's 20 minus 4 damage, minus 4 AP shots.
Like, it's brutal into some sort of toughness 8 thing with an invuln save, but those dudes will just pit, like, they spent their entire lives just crumpling Primaris bodies into tiny tin cans, and that's all a Plague Marine is. You just point that gun at that guy and that whole squad's gonna go away.
Yeah, he's just 2 Primaris Marines stacked on top of each other, right? Like, you'll get him. Oh, it looks like Mortarion made the charge.
Made that charge. Yep.
Oh boy.
Whew. Maybe we should have precasted that null zone.
Yeah. Yeah, would have hit him.
Is Dante brave enough to heroically intervene?
Yes.
Here he
Dante will
comes.
intervene.
Well, Dante does swing
I don't-
first. Or
Yeah, I do not mind that maneuver.
Fight. Mortarion fights first.
Mortarion probably can't swing for the 1 damage hits if he's also going to try and kill Dante, but he has to over-dedicate into him to make it even remotely close to shore, which will just leave
So just gonna put
the Sanguinary
all
card.
of, attacks into the Vanguard with his big damage swings.
Yeah, so Dante has a little baby axe for some reason, which is only 2 damage, which
So
is
that's
obviously
7 attacks.
reduced to 1. So he's not really threatening Mortarion at all.
Twos, rerolling
So
ones.
Mortarion's just dedicating all of his swings to the same.
Wounding on 2s, rerolling
I mean, it's a little baby axe that hits 7 times.
So these are the 6 saves and minus
Yeah,
Not
4.
but it's-
nothing. It's not a lot, but
D3 plus 3 damage each.
GG, Sanguinary Guard.
the biggest downfall
say
here. Oh no, they
sixes
move
are
12. They
18
can
minus four?
escape from Mortarion's heroic intervention.
All of them are 18 minus
okay.
4.
Okay, that's what I thought.
All of them fail their saves.
I didn't save a 1.
Okay, do you want me to roll the damage? These are minimum 4 each.
Yeah, no,
Plus 1,
there's
5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 5.
We made a rocket ship. No, it's gone.
Trivia, they're killing our heroes.
Goodbye.
and dead,
Next one is 4.
and dead.
Don't worry, Dante's got this though.
I'm not gonna bother to
I
roll
believe
it
in
all
him.
out because it don't believe it.
He's like the regent of
happens.
the Imperium. He's got this.
That just means he's good at paperwork, though. I don't know if that means he's good at fighting millennia
Yeah, I mean,
old
like-
demon Primarchs.
Mortarion has to bring 2 accountants with him in this list. I feel like he could. He's probably pretty bad at paperwork. Okay.
Yes, yes, he can.
Yeah, chat. You can make Dante forced to be the
He
target.
has
Is that right?
6 attacks.
That probably would have been the
He
play.
does count as charging because the thing is an aura, not a contagion.
Oh, okay. So then he will have 7 attacks on the charge. He will be hitting on 2s.
Wonder if we consolidate Dante out of the range of this Hell Talon. Probably, right? I guess it doesn't really matter.
And then this is strength 7.
Yeah, he can escape the heroic intervention.
So it'll
either way.
be wounding
Yeah,
on
'cause he's
3s because of the Blood Angels.
Although being able to
4,
consolidate
so
outside of it gives him
Mortarion-
preferential move, which could then make it
Yeah.
impossible for Mortarion to touch these Eradicators.
Oh yeah, no force.
Which I think is where he
I don't know,
is
yeah.
probably going to try and sink his
Usually
gigantic
do that.
fangs.
So these are 4
Yeah.
inbound. Okay, am I within the null zone? I am. Oh, so 6, nothing, damage 1 each, 2 each.
Yep.
Yeah,
Three,
Longship
so
locked in
1,
chat.
So 5 of them in.
Excited to see builds that don't rely on Mortarion. I think, honestly, like, Mortarion, he's like a big shiny thing. Hey, we pinged him for 1. We're almost there.
Yeah, dude.
We're 1/18th
Telling
of the
you.
way to a dead Mortarion. I'm excited.
Dante is the way it gets done.
Yep, you just need 17 more Dantes. We'll have 1 dead Mortarion.
Easy.
Easy game. But I think it is interesting because I think Mortarion's, like, he's big, he's spicy, he got a new data sheet, he's got a bunch of, like, really cool abilities and synergies. And it is fun to put giant monsters on the table with huge size that, like, you know, sort of just go ham and beat your opponent to death with them. But it does seem to me like there are plenty of viable Death Guard builds that, especially the most experienced Death Guard players are already experimenting with, that do not rely on Mortarion, and I am also excited to see those. Death Guard feel like a very flexible faction, and even putting them into a Chaos Soup as well is also, I think, going to be very viable.
Channel monetized and on YouTube.
I agree. It seems like a very deep book. Like, every unit seems good in it, which is, I think, the first time I've ever seen that be the case.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Even the generic.
Yeah, I mean, even like little random stuff like these Poxwalkers, right?
Yeah.
Are just like they're like
They're great.
They're almost an
love
alternative
Poxwalkers.
cultist model, but man, are they cool? Are they cool in this book? If you combo them with Harbingers and get the full reroll strat, which is reroll any dice, you don't have to reroll misses or failed attack rolls, and then you use the strat to deal mortal wounds on 6s, you average like. You average like 11 mortal wounds. I mean, you end up like 20 idiot Poxwalkers, and that's like
Gross.
I love that stuff, man. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
There's a lot of little stuff. Like I think I was like raving / complaining to you that the double fist basic Hellbrute can kill 18 orc boys in 1 attack.
Yeah, if you use the stratagem to overflow the damage, like you had a plague flail, right?
Yeah. Like, what?
Right. Yeah.
Come
This
on.
is dumb chaos box dread. What's happening here? Yeah, the Death Guard book is just very, very cool. So it looks like we're measuring out our Deep Strike Denial auras here. So we're gonna be bringing in some Sangers. Are we pulling Dante back? Are we moving? Are we moving away from the fight?
Well, we gotta move a little farther than that.
Yeah. Take a second as we're planning out the turn here to talk about the player secondary choices. Looks like Ash has taken raise the banners high, grind them down, and then her other one is one of the Death Guard specific ones we're going to try. Despoiled Ground. With you score 4 victory points if you have a bubonic unit wholly within the enemy deployment zone and 1 within your deployment zone. You score 4 if you have bubonic units in 3 table quarters, so basically engage on all fronts. Score
it's
if
like
you control more
a
than
combo
half
of the others.
objectives, and you can score 4 if every objective is within contagion range of a unit with contagion. That's a really cool secondary. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of maneuver secondaries all slapped together. But you don't have to do them all at
It
the
also
same
seems pretty good.
time. I mean, it seems like kind of a win more, right? If you get tabled, there's no way you get that.
Yeah.
But if you table your opponent, you get it every time. Like, I don't know how
Also,
much that bails you out of a close game, but it certainly seems like you're flexing on somebody.
Given the faction, I don't see too many Death Guard tablings occurring very
That's
often.
true. They're gonna probably survive 5 turns. Like, yeah, it's tough to get through all this stuff.
The big downside is their lack of maneuverability. And does it have to be? It's all Plague Company or it's all bubonic infantry.
Bubonic infantry, it says.
Yeah, so it's not going to be easy for them to get some of those at on the last turn. Like being in all 4 table corners, being in your opponent's deployment zone, being by every objective.
Yeah.
That's going to be structural. Like you could have no opposing army, and some Death Guard builds probably just couldn't do that.
Yeah. Ares 158. Somebody tries to kill Dante and he's made every single invulnerable save. Somehow the 4+ invulnerable save just works better. 4+ invulnerable saves, we talked about it many times on stream. Mathematically better than 3+ invulnerable saves.
Yeah, they are
Ask
statistically
anyone.
superior to 3+ invulnerable saves.
Those 3+ invulnerable saves fail every time, but the 4+s, I don't know how you keep getting them. It's just you can just keep making them. Ducati Knight of Death Guard makes double fist Hellbrutes playable. I know what my next army would have to be. Yeah, I mean it does sound good. I don't know if they're only move 8, right? Like I don't really know if you get them to the fight, but
yeah, they're cheap. I mean that's like
yeah, I guess they're
like a low investment play for a very high output unit.
You're playing like discount Wolfbots at that point, right?
Yeah,
which sounds good. Looks like I think if these Sanguinary Guard are dropping where they looks like they're gonna be, I think I like this play a lot. Of putting these guys behind the objective here. If they
that play I love.
And
I don't love arraying them up directly across from Mortarion.
Yeah, maybe that might not go well. We'll see.
I feel like if you pop on the other side, you hit the plague marines, you just strip them off of objective 3. You perhaps finish off this plague burst crawler.
Yeah,
and at that point, you just have Mortarion trying to take 3 objectives by himself. Like he can't pull that off.
I'd be worried that. It looks like we're screened out to the edge here with the Plague Marines, so I don't know if we can get a charge. Yeah, it'd be like an 11 on the Plague Burst Crawler. But if you go into these Plague Marines, you kill them, and then the Volkites just turn around, and you hear their little target acquisition system beep, boop boop, and then their weapons lock in, and you just die.
Yeah, but I mean, Mortarion has one of those. You hear the same sound, and then a scythe cuts you in half. So it's like,
yeah, he's just making the sounds with his mouth too.
Yeah, it's a coincidence, but his wings, just the buzzing sound that it makes, just sounds suspiciously like a target acquisition beep.
Yeah, it's
very annoying to everyone, but no one's willing to say.
It's the holes in the wings. They make a little whistle sound whenever he beats them.
He sounds like an old timey train.
Yeah, he does. There's 158. I've been already playing long enough without bringing Mortarion. I want to flood the board with troops and Terminators, 3 Plague Marines, 15 Terminators, characters, Demon Engines. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that sounds good also. I think And honestly, I think especially with the infantry, it may just be better without Mortarion.
Yeah.
Because you get to... Mortarion's like wants to rocket forward and do a bunch of stuff. And if you're not aggressively pushing debuffs into your opponent's army, you want your Arch-Contaminator aura to be back or buffing your troops. And I think if you're putting infantry on the table, it might be better that way. That way, like, Mortarion doesn't have to babysit your Plague Marines, basically. Because he does also... He is forced to be your Arch-Contaminator guy. I am interested in if there's like a Rhino Rush Plague Marine list in there somewhere where you can like put 30 idiots in rhinos and run them to every objective, and then like they can take a cleaver and a flail in every unit. And with Arch Contaminator, because those are all plague weapons, like they just brutalize whatever they touch in melee, and they're all obsec and they're all relatively difficult to kill. I think there's a lot of interesting lists that are not Mortarion centric.
Yeah, especially backed up by like maybe 100 Poxwalkers,
Yes.
just like running behind them, kind of like glomming up the board.
Yeah, for sure. Ares 158. What's looking better so far, a Lord of Virulence or a Lord of Contagion? Do you have any thoughts on the Lords of the Death card? I have to look up which ones. To be honest.
Lord of the Virulence has the Fist and the Flamer. He's the new guy. Lord of Contagion's the previous one that you never saw ever. There was like their version of a Chaos Lord. I like the Lord of Contagion.
Virulence gives everyone rending within 6 inches with ranged attacks, right? They get +1 AP on 6s. Only with plague weapons. And Contagion is... You get 3 extra inches of range to your Contagion abilities, which makes a lot of sense. That's in the name.
Yeah.
Does what it says on the tin.
Lord of Contagion, I believe, is cheaper, hits a little bit harder in close combat. He's a more purpose-built piece. The Lord of Virulence feels like he's kind of trying to be 2 things at once. He wants to sit back and buff, a Blight Lord Terminator squad to really make their Stormbolters function very well, but he's pretty expensive. And most of the time, he will not be using his Fist or his Flamer. So he's just a very expensive damage amp for a unit that already... Just by its nature, kind of doesn't need a character that's good at close combat near them, because they'll do it. That's their job.
I'm going to point out here, it looks like we took an audible on that Sanguinary Guard placement, and we are just going to dump them into Mortarion, which
okay.
I do not feel is the right strategy. I really liked this position behind the Poxwalkers, because if you make that charge, like, you are invincible to a counter charge, and you pull all of... Theoretically, you pull all of the presence off of Objective 2 for the Death Guard. And there's very, like, what do they do? Like, these Death Shrouds, like, slowly meander towards the objective and, like, have to make a charge around the wall. Like, they only move 5, right? And they have to clear the wall with a charge. I guess it's only a 6 or a 7 to get to the back, but even then, do they, like, Death Shrouds are good, but are they good enough to kill an entire Sanguinary Guard unit? Actually, probably. They have 2 damage weapons. They probably do it.
they're quite good at it.
Just kidding.
It's a real... I mean, it's only 3 Death Shrouds, though. I mean, they can...
Yeah,
I don't know. Send Dante in there.
They are weapon skill
that guy
too,
can't die.
So they're not quite as swingy as you would sort of normally expect out of a Terminator, which is good. Also, I mean, being Terminators, you have Whispers if you really need them. On top of that,
you get like 2 attacks per swing on their scythe, right? Or is it 3? They're pretty swingy, you know.
Tardy grid, you can put Plague Marines in Terrax drills to be aggressive with them. That sounds amazing. That sounds awesome.
It is quite good.
What?
They did restore the Terex drill to Death Guard, right, in the FAQ?
Yeah,
because it was missing from
everything that was in Chaos Space Marine.
Yeah,
they added a Legion keyword to it, or the Special Legions, the 1,000 Sons of Death Guard. I'm gonna send it back to the players' mics here while we go through these rolls.
Grand total of 6, I believe,
looks like
because you are within range.
We're nailing the Hellblade with these Eradicators. 1 shot almost kills it. Down to 3.
Alright, and then the Sanguinary Guard are going to shoot into Mortarion.
Interestingly, those Incursors
7
have
of them. So I have
sort of
14
anti-aircraft
shots.
rifles, because they ignore the penalty to hit aircraft. Which is pretty good. And we are in Tactical Doctrine now, so they are AP1. We're going to sink the Angelus Bolt Guns off the Sanguinary Guard into Mortarion. Looks like we've already pinged him for another 2. I think probably in the Psychic phase.
mean, that guy is.
and
He
is
hates Psychers,
Morty
and he's right
still
to, because they are probably
minus
the
one, or
best way to
is
deal
just a
damage to
plain?
him.
We also have Miasma and
Morty
Mortarian,
Miasma.
importantly.
Okay.
So they are. He is going to be as difficult to kill as he almost
4s to
possibly can be.
hit, 6s to wound. Grand total of 1. At AP -2 because I'm in the tactical doctrine.
Except,
1 damage.
Evolve. No damage.
The revoltingly resilient saves it though. I almost called it disgustingly resilient, and I caught myself. That's gonna take a little bit of getting used to.
Then the
His
other
damage
squad
ignore roll made the save.
over here is going to shoot him. Second verse, same as the first.
I guess amusingly, you do have to place them greater than 9 inches away, so his aura would not be affecting, or the gloaming glow would not be affecting these guys if they come out of deep strike with their ranged attacks.
Not on this turn, at least.
Yeah. Once they sink in there, they're definitely gonna be taking it.
All right,
And
Oculus
there are ways to
carbines
crank
from
Mortarian up to
this
12 of that
squad
pretty
is
easily
gonna
too.
shoot
Yeah, with the
into
psychic power you can do it.
the
Yeah.
Hellblade.
But that's on the Hellblade right now, so.
So
It is for now, for the
10
moment.
shots.
Got a 3 wounds on the Hellblade.
Yeah, one erratic
does-
that went through.
6s are.
I think that Hellblade
auto-wounding.
did kill one of the Eradicators though.
It sure did.
With its twin autocannon, which is pretty unfortunate for him.
Ah, why did you do that?
Right, 3 ones. AP 1.
I believe so.
Was that the Incursors?
Yeah.
They hit on.
Yes.
They hit on 3s against it, right?
It's a flyer
But they have the.
in the.
No. The infiltrate. Isn't infiltrators the one that ignore AP?
No, infiltrators auto wounds on 6s. To hit.
Oh,
They
is
have,
it
like,
the
G9 on it?
infiltrators?
Well, Incursors ignore hit penalties, right?
Oh, but we did auto.
Oh, did you? Yeah, it's the infiltrators that have the auto wound down.
It's fine. The Hellblade shrugged everything.
My fault. I've not actually.
Looks like we
used
got our
Incursors
forward
before.
deploy Primaris models
I got the rules
confused
mixed up.
there.
That's my fault.
Look, when you name every single Marine unit with an I at the beginning of their name,
Yeah, INX.
Yeah.
yeah.
Then the other Incursors, the
Want to
squad
thank
is
as follows, Calbotnik and Mischief Manager. Thanks for following over on Twitch. We are live for anybody on YouTube who's interested. We are live right now over on Twitch at twitch.tv/tacticaltortoisetv. You can follow us over there. We're going to be multi-streaming the Invitational to both YouTube and Twitch, but in Season 3, we will typically be streaming all of our competitive games over on Twitch. So if you give us a follow over there, you'll see when we're live for all of the T5S2 Season 3 Finals games. And I also want to thank everybody just for joining us. Shuma, we have 90 people in our chat right now.
Whoa! Death Guard, bring all the boys to the yard.
I do.
And they're better than Blood Angels. Damn right. They're better than Blood Angels.
5. A guy can dream.
Yeah, Chad, thanks for backing me up.
and
I do
then-
know my Incursors, but unfortunately, we looks like the players may have messed that up. I love Incursors, so every time I get to brag that they can that they can shoot through like the cover or hit modifiers, I'll do it. Also, AP1 on those knives, go get them, buddy.
So, little fun fact about Mortarion. I believe he only brackets on 2 statistics,
Yeah, it's
which
a
is
move and attack,
very
right?
strange.
Yeah. he's
Yeah.
good.
Oh, like every other
into the
unit of the
plan.
game is at least 3.
He is down
And that's
5
one
wounds.
less thing I have to worry about. 2 at AP
Some
minus
good
1.
sneezing going here. It looks like Mortarion is starting to affect the real world.
Killed it.
I will CP that.
Damn it.
Laugh, sigh, sob. What determines what I post to
Killed
YouTube?
it.
So for the time being right now, it used to be that I did all the streaming on YouTube. For the time being right now, the streams that'll be on YouTube will be like sort of more unofficial stuff. So usually when I'm streaming my own gameplay, oh, we got it. Goodbye, plane. When I'm streaming my own gameplay or random stuff like that, I'll probably be streaming to YouTube. But the competitive stuff, the commentated stuff, will mostly be on Twitch. As to what what videos I post, just anything I make that isn't a patron video.
And if you want some to give some feedback or maybe give some ideas on what perhaps the datasheet deep dives are, I believe that's one of the patron tiers, right?
That's
like
a patron thing. Yeah, we do polls from time to time, and I ask for anybody who has requests for datasheet deep dives. If you are a patron, then you can post them in response to datasheet deep dive videos, and I will get right on that. I think I'm gonna have a poll going up for patrons pretty soon to determine videos going up next week, because we have a couple interesting topics I think we could cover. You can join us, join the Patreon if you want at patreon.com/tacticaltortoise. You get early access to videos. If you are interested in T5S2 Season 3, you get priority access to the standard tournament pod, so you get in those first, which is going to be a big deal because I think every waitlist has like 30 people on it right now. So the patrons will be going in. Will be going in first. Rob, FTW89, can we talk about the best unit in the game and why it is Brayarth Ashmantle? It's because he can be toughness 11. That's why.
They did that. They did my boy so dirty.
I know.
With
at least
with the
is
nerf
he still
there.
Like 450 points.
No, he's like way less.
Alright.
He's like a Bjorn the Fell-Handed tier kind of character now. He's no longer this like mysterious Superman like hidden in the very back of a Forge World book, spoken of in hushed whispers. So one of the interesting things about sending 2 Sanguinary Guards here at once is there's a little stratagem called counterattack, where one of these 2 units is just probably not going to swing because everybody in it will have been cut in half.
They're gonna get chopped down. Yeah, I mean maybe. Do we still have the stratagem to make a -1 to hit if he's swinging at Death Masks, guys? I need to brush up on my Blood Angel stratagem. Chat. Clearly, this is what this game has been teaching me. we don't get Blood Angels on the stream quite as often as we used to.
That's all for charging at the moment.
Saying for my own feed, yes on Death
Go
Masks
ahead
for
and go with
-1.
Squad first.
Hey. All right.
So, you throw that on the squad that does not attack first, and then hope for the best.
Oh,
Mortarion does not source reloads for himself.
That's sick.
It's just built in? Oh, alright, there you go.
All the time. Alright. That's a little bit better. Mortarion. So Mortarion, I think he is just giving himself rerolls right now because he doesn't have anybody to pick with it. I imagine that's what happened last turn because he wasn't in range of anybody. Because he can. So he has the same ability that a Chapter Master has. So he can either give it to a Death Guard core unit or a character, and so he could just pick himself as a character to reroll ones.
Right,
and
so
that's what he did last turn.
So he converts all 21 of those attacks if he chooses to do that profile. Although, do you do that or do you do the big swing for the -4? It was big swing last time, right?
Yeah, I think we big swing to get through the armor save.
No rerolls.
His little swing
I
is
think
only
got to
-4,
about the same against this unit.
4s.
Well, no, 21. 21 converts to 21. You're going to a 4-up
This is
for 10.5 wounds, kill 5 guys versus, what, 8 attacks?
Ooh, we
Now
do
down
have
to
a
7
power
now?
fist in this unit.
Ooh, that guy. That guy's the key.
Ooh, all right. That's spicy.
Here we go.
We'd probably get 2 or 3 damage through with
AP
that. Just kidding.
Not like that. Nope.
Superman or Superman.
Just remove these dice here.
1 damage apiece.
Takes 1. You know.
Takes 1
All right.
damage.
Well, that's why we
This
send
is-
an entire unit of Sanguinary Guard into Mortarion to do that wound.
Right, and if you
That
wish,
specific 1 wound.
Yep, 2 CP.
Do you even spend the 2 CP to interrupt here? Or do you just shrug and say, "No, I'm gonna save it"?
Dante's here like he's not sitting in a burning building. He's just surrounded by sort of the vaporized bodies of his battle brothers, and he's like, "This is fine." Oh, no.
Yeah, it's that smash cut and then freeze frame, and he's like, "I bet you're wondering how I found myself here."
Looks like the swingback we did actually just say armor save 2 of these Sanguinary Guard. And we only converted 5 attacks, so... Well, I guess there's only 7, so that we'll leave 2 alive. Yikes.
Big downside there, though. The Librarian's just going to get shot by 2 entropy cannons. Probably.
Well, he's being body blocked by the Sanguinary Guard, and then the Incursors are closer, right? On Objective 5. So you gotta kill them first.
Are they? I mean, the Crawler just crawls a little bit to the left, right? Well, no, you're right.
Yeah,
Let me make a triangle with my eyeballs here. Yeah, damn it.
Yeah, we also... The PBC's bracketed, right? So it's down movement as well.
Yeah, it's not a 6-inch now, I think. He's not a fast boy.
Owen Bangle's watching on mute, so you definitely won't hear us respond to your comment. But yeah, we took 1 damage from that entire Sanguinary Guardian. Those 4+ invulnerable saves, chat. I'm telling you, the best kind of invulnerable save to have.
Look, on a long enough timeline, even Mortarion can die. All you need is 6 turns. The downside that Mortarion is not a Titanic unit, and he cannot leave combat and shoot, so he is stuck here, and he's in combat with all of the Sanguinary Guard, which sort of leaves the Contemptors with not a lot to shoot at.
Is there like a... Can you get a hilarious like bowling strike with Lantern anywhere in here? I guess not, because you have to shoot the people in melee.
Yeah, what are you trying to aim at the Sanguinary Ancient here, probably?
Yeah, like if Dante was engaged, maybe you hit him and the Sanguinary Guardian, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
I mean,
like
you hit
that
the
ability
Sanguinary
on-
Guard into the Incursors, into the Sanguinary Ancient. Like you can.
Wait,
how are you
can't-
forced to draw this line?
well, he has to target models in melee with him, and I think it's between the closest points on your base.
Okay.
So if there was like if for example this green Sanguinary Guard unit was in fact 2 units, maybe he could do it, but I don't think. Well, he's engaged. I don't think there's any way. I like that rule on the Lantern, but man, is it mostly flavor text? It's so
Yeah,
hard to actually get it to trigger.
It was an 18-inch range before this update. They actually dropped it by 6. It used to be much more interesting.
Womp. Well, you can't make it a longer range than a heavy bolt pistol, right? That's just unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean it's only how big is the Lantern? Let's look at this thing.
I'm not gonna lie,
It's
I
just
think was,
larger than an Eradicator's gun. You should drop that piece of crap and just like pick up, just pick up one of these old.
Not prepared for that.
Oh,
Pick up an
the
entire
Eradicator's gun isn't written on the Eradicator. What's this called? Melter Rifle. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not written on this one Eradicator. That guy just. He only has a. Is it only the Sergeant? Oh, battle scrapped to TTS. What are you doing?
That is a big old gun. That gun is almost the size of a Space Marine.
Yeah.
Running my more
Not small.
competitive
I mean, it's not like a gun though. It's a lantern.
Dark Angels would probably.
So
That's true.
yeah, I mean, it's like forgivable,
It's
but
just
it's like
shining a
not.
light
I mean,
on
it's honestly pretty. Maybe it's a little bit dangerous for just being a source of light. Like that guy should maybe call somebody about
He
that.
should just be able to throw the scythe 100%. He should just be
Like
able
a
to Thor that thing right through people.
Just a sick anime move. Just throw that out there and it like comes back like a boomerang. Like
It's just like, Arjak
makes like a
Rockfish, eat your heart out.
Yeah.
Check this.
he bends forward, catches it like katana like behind his back, makes like a shishing sound, and then he pushes his glasses up, and there's like a flash on the glasses at the last second.
He also makes the shishing sound with his mouth, just like he was doing with
Like-
the beeping sound.
For some reason, he says something in Japanese, and it like goes untranslated.
Scoring.
Can you imagine if those poxwalkers had all just been crushed into tiny, like into their little constituent parts, and then spread around the earth?
I would have liked the situation for the Blood Angels much better right now. Turns out that like sinking whatever this is, 700 points of Sanguinary Guard or something into Mortarion to deal 4 damage.
Plus, like,
it's not amazing.
What, 400 points of support characters?
Also,
And then like
Support
150
Eradicator.
points, 200 points of Eradicators.
Yeah, I think we were we maybe got a little tunnel vision on Mortarion here.
Yeah,
I
it's
think-
hard not to do.
Yeah, and it's difficult if he can sort of sink in that early. Like we were talking about before, definitely moving the Sanguinary Guard like 12 inches directly forward on turn 1 was maybe not the move. Maybe we make that charge impossible so he doesn't cut a unit in half on his turn and then also do it on your turn.
I don't think you have a second deny, so that's 7.
At least we got that.
You gotta maximize your economy though. Like if you're trying to have Dante kill your entire army, you have to maximize every one of his assault phases. Okay.
Owen Bango's new map looks awesome. Yeah, thanks. These are available for download right now on the Discord. If you go over to T5S2 rules and resources, we have links to the current map pool, which is only 4 maps so far, but more are coming. And yeah, I think they came out pretty good. So they're essentially just WTC maps, but we have made some sort of quality of life changes to make them a little bit more playable for large models. But generally speaking, yeah, mostly we've kind of upped the fidelity on the WTC maps, I guess.
Yeah, we gotta make them look good.
You gotta make them look good.
We got some other cool ones coming up too. After this, there's a chaos one that I'm like particularly a fan of.
The chaos one is awesome. Yeah.
And I have promised Trevi to make a map where Tyranids are slowly taking over the ground, and we'll see if I do it.
All right, yeah,
We'll see.
that's on you. I thought of a name for the chaos map because it's
What is it?
It's Corn focused, right? God of God of blood and all that. So we call it Fields of Corn.
Oh, that'd be. Oh man, I gotta find if I can get a like a cornfield texture that doesn't just look hokey and dumb, and then we can do that too. Maybe do like a corner one's like the crazy corn like blood warp texture, and the other one's just like
sweep and clear
the fields of Oklahoma.
Corner to corner is a good one name for it.
That's better. You gotta do that one. That's way better. That's so good.
I do like that. Yeah. Okay. Well, Fields of Corn can be next season's corn themed map.
All right.
Our season 2 corn themed map, which is in the invitational map pool, is called Children of the Corn.
This fun game is it's on point. What's this one called?
I forget what this one's called.
That's a bad name.
It's not a good name.
Number of shots from the mortar. 1 shot. Fails to hit.
Tardigrade the Cornucopia. That's a good one too. These are names for the map pool bank for later seasons. Rob FTW89 says name it Ohio. Good call.
They are fine.
Laugh Size Sob, can I stream bets? Like, can I stream like people betting on stuff? I'm not 100% sure. If you want to bet on things yourself, go ahead.
I think I've seen stream bets before. I'm not 100% how them.
I would have to look up the Twitch agreement so I don't step on any toes. Thanks for the follows, everybody. Tattered Pages, Omalak. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it. James Kelly, how do I join the Discord? I don't have it. Actually, why don't I just jump right into the chat and drop you a link to the Discord. Let me grab it real quick for everybody on YouTube, because I didn't put one in the bot, I don't think.
It says explode, so 15 hits, wounding on 3s, because you're not winning the region range. 3 mortal wounds after all of these.
All right, YouTube.
All right.
This is going to be interesting to see if this works. Here comes a Discord link.
That was a very bad save roll. Yikes.
Oh, did I miss it?
They weren't gonna live. Oh, I mean, I guess they're also now trying to kill Mortarion.
Yeah, even in death, we still serve. There is a spot you can put models onto Objective 5 without them being in line of sight. I wonder if maybe we just missed that.
Oh, yeah, not anymore.
Yeah. Oops. Oh, that did work, chat. Sick. Yeah, come join the Discord. We play games on TTS 40K literally 24/7. I think almost every hour of every day there's at least one game going on in the
Oh
channel.
yeah, I mean, at what? Actually, here's based out of Asia, right?
Singapore. Yep.
Singapore. Yeah. Davis Near is based out of I think North America. There's like a spread all over. No matter what time of day, chances are you can find a game.
Yes. Yeah, we have tons of players in. We have event wait lists in for Asia and Australia and most of Europe and also for North America as well. So we also have a couple players out of South Africa, which is awesome too. We hit almost every continent.
Yep, nope, didn't matter.
What about the moon?
Is that a continent?
Yes.
All right. Well, we missed that one. I guess it used to
I
be
think
a
it's
continent, right? And then somebody hit it with a meteor.
I mean, it's like smaller than North America if you just like wrap North America into a ball.
Dreadlord DJ or Dreadlord JJ, excuse me. Does Blood Chalice work in a soup army? I believe that you have to be affected by combat doctrines in order to be affected by Blood Chalice or by the super doctrine. I can give that a double check, but I don't believe that it works as long as if you're souped.
Fights. You get to pick.
You're like a human encyclopedia.
I will go ahead and fight with the.
Is Dante hero intervening?
Yeah, they only trigger if another doctrine is active. So if you don't have doctrines active in the first place, it doesn't do anything.
You can't.
Glitchy Bit, what's up, man? How's it going?
During heroic intervention, but you can finish closer to.
Hanging out in chat.
Dante heroically intervening, but not making it.
That's only for saying but you don't need to finish your movement with.
He wasn't able to make it into heroic intervention. Oh, into an inch, inside an inch.
Seems like. I guess the.
Send it back to the players here for that discussion.
Yeah. You were just describing the fact that while the strange interaction of Blood Angel heroic interventions is within 6 you move. You don't have to get there.
3 attacks for each model, and there are 7 of them. Just hitting on 4s.
Crimson RB, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it.
Say Crimson Arby's? That'd be another good format.
Crimson
Pause,
RB.
no charge bonus. Savage Echoes is only when you charge, right? +1 to wound?
That's what I'm trying to remember. I don't know why I am.
Oof, we lose the Savage Echoes on a follow-up turn of combat. Although that's a lot of 6s anyway.
Whatever.
It is
here it is.
Maybe we should be doing it regardless.
Yeah. We lose the 2 4s, right? Because we hit Queen of 5s normally with a +1.
So it's a.
So 4+. Bomb.
Oh no, these are powerful.
Slap.
These are powerful, so they're wounding on 4s regardless.
Takes 2. He is bracketed.
Alright, slapping a few more into Mortarion.
So the moral victory is to kill
Loses 2
Mortarion.
inches of movement. And
I think the moral victory was just to bracket Mortarion.
1 attack.
And attack.
I don't know that we should shoot for the
And
moon
all
here.
of the attacks in green.
That continent known as the moon.
Yeah.
The famous continent of Earth, the moon.
Rolling
It's
for
roughly the size of
Karma.
Australia if you were to like just turn into a ball.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's not very big.
5 saves.
The moon's not very big.
Huh.
Oh, I mean it's huge, but also you know.
I guess
It's not very big.
Australia is very large. And you're right. Tattered Pages.
I also just pulled that statistic. I just made that up.
You got
Pick up 40.
I'm now seeing if I was right though.
as any good host. Oh, this
the
is a good
game
way to
has
kill one.
decided to not let me touch any
Is
of my models
if you just
for some
delete
reason.
him, or just
Okay.
move him off the table physically, that'll do it.
Alright, it's like the moon is about 12 times the surface area of Australia. I was wrong. I was very wrong.
Tattered Pages has a list to kill Mortarion. Tattered Pages, what is your anti-Mortarion list? Tell us your
Oh,
secrets.
Is it like mine that I've been playing for a month?
Yeah, this the
just-
list is accidentally.
just accidented
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always like you just hoping that people.
Can I pile
Play
Dante in an
giant.
attack with Dante because he heroically intervened?
Just giant Supermen that can't hide.
Yeah, I didn't think
Yeah, enormous Lords of War. You're like, please God, play Lords of War, the largest Lords of War.
Alright.
The larger you can get, that better. Make sure that it's 18 wounds or higher. And also make sure that you only have 2 entropy cannons and some Volkai charges in your list to kill the Stompa back. We're talking about Stompa, by the way. Stompa, super duper one-runs Mortarion. He one-runs 2.5 Mortarions.
I think he also one-runs the Plague Burst Crawler at the same time.
Yeah. Gaffleaf, Death Card is a bad day for anybody that wants to charge. I think that is the case. I think the goal, if you're playing into Death Card and you have an army like this Blood Angels list, is not to kind of dogpile, because it's like, just imagine you're playing against Custodies, except they're painted green and kind of slimy. So it's like Custodies, except they're green, I guess.
Yes, they're slimy instead of oily.
Yeah. Because the Death Guard want literally nothing more than to play in a big pile of goo in the middle of the table. Because that's where, all of their auras are concentrated there. That's where their most damage is doing. They got their Arch Contaminator going. They got their Foul Blight Spawn going. They have their Stench Vats going. And nothing you do is going to, be able to pile you out of that. They're starting to, plank you with Mortal Wounds and stuff. But if you are playing a list like this Blood Angels list, the goal is to play sort of a cagier game that plays the mission a little bit stronger. So we were talking about, earlier, the play to send Sanguinary Guard into these Poxwalkers. And if you can do that and clear them off Objective 2 and contest Objective 3, all you really have to do is give up 1 unit to get to Objective 3, and you have denied the Death Guard 5 to 10 primary points that turn. And if you just keep doing that, they really have a tough time spreading their ball out. And I think that's going to be how you're going to have to approach these Death Guard armies.
Look at this army. 1 Beyblade, 2 Bane Swords, the Aquila Strong Point, Company Commander, and 3 Red Commissars. I gotta say, the Beyblade and Bane Swords, not gonna do much. But I'm looking at this Vortex Missile Aquila Strong Point. I think this thing just one-shots the guy. It's a heavy D6 blast weapon. Every hit does D6 mortal wounds, and if it survives, it does an additional D6 mortal wounds. I don't even know why they'd write that. Why wouldn't they just say it does 2d6 mortal wounds? It's it makes no sense. But it's just a d6 180-inch weapon that does 2d6 mortals per hit.
It is ballistic skill 5. That's the downside.
6, because he's probably making himself -1
yeah,
also.
It's definitely hitting on a 6. It also explodes automatically for 2d3 mortal wounds, or for d6 mortal wounds, excuse me.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, and it explodes even better on you roll another dice if you get hit by it, and on a 6 you take an additional d6. You could just die. I like it.
So
that actually sounds
so you can
kind of fun.
You can just shoot this gun repeatedly.
Yeah.
This isn't a one-shot fig.
Game, but when you do, oh boy.
I mean, it's a toughness 10 30 wound model. I feel like you're just going to shoot this for 5 turns in a row.
Yeah. It is only it is a mere 470 points. So it is slightly less expensive than Mortarion.
Yeah, it's cheaper than a monolith.
Yeah.
This thing's also not that big. No, this thing's huge. This couldn't fit on any map.
Yeah.
Has to be outside of 3 inches from basically everything too, but I'm all in on this maneuver. I like this thing. I like this move.
Yeah, just play on Planet Bowling Ball and sink Mortal Wounds into Morty until he's eventually dead.
Yeah. Oh, this needs line of sight. Why does this need line of sight?
No. The missile can fire indirect. If you don't have anybody, if you don't have anybody operating it, it can only shoot line of sight. But if you put just an idiot in the
so you didn't Planet Bowling Ball.
Yeah.
I'm all in on this thing.
Does the building?
I think this is the new guard meta.
Bad touching it. It does not. It has potentially 4 heavy bolters to shoot you hitting on 6s, so that's something. But not good, So the Harlequin Bike bad touch might do it. Might do it to you.
Yeah, you think that happens with real ICBM bunkers? If I just run up and just start punching one, you think I can prevent nuclear war?
If you were a Harlequin with a long pokey stick, they would have to deal with you first.
Could be.
You are but a man.
You don't know that.
As that. You can't see me.
You don't know what webways I've been in.
Dante is going to charge Mortarian.
Rob FTW 89 9 Armiger Moiraxes. Unfortunately, I think is that too many? Can you take units of 3 of Moiraxes?
Yeah, I believe so. They're just more like armor jars / war dogs.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a different data sheet, so you can actually take
Right. So you can
9 of those and then 9 armor jars as well.
And then 9 of the other armigers.
Are the other ones a different data sheet?
27, yeah. There's
3
Armiger
different data
Warglaives
sheets?
and
There you go.
Armiger guys with autocannons.
Yeah, it wasn't actually. Someone was posting in the Discord like last week a list that took 14 of them
Oh yeah, they were playing
in 2,000 points because that
had
unit
pictures-
dumped
they had
like
pictures of
30 points.
It looked incredible. Yeah,
That unit is
Armigers,
so cheap now. It's
They-
like crazy cheap.
they have always been a really cool profile, right? Because they are like they're decent in melee, they're decent at shooting, but they're also super duper fast, and
Yeah.
they're not super expensive.
This thing's 135 points for the Warglaive.
Ew, that's pretty good.
It's a 12 wound, 14-inch movement thing with a gigantic meltagun. Let's see. That also hits what
Oh, yeah,
4
the
times.
thermal spear is
at-
free. It's just 5 points to take
Yeah.
the hull mounted meltagun.
Yeah.
140 with the hull mounted. Amazing. That sounds amazing.
This thing's insane.
I played a triple armiger in Combat Patrol, and my opponent was playing Raven Guard, and they alpha struck my army, and the Armiger Warglaive almost single-handedly killed their entire Combat Patrol army.
I can see that happening with this.
They charged him with some Inceptors. Turns out Inceptors not good against a billion flat 3 damage attacks.
No.
He killed them all.
They're not great at killing a 12 wound vehicle either with 3 of save.
They got one of them with the overcharged plasma, and then the Warglaive got stuck in, and it was all bad. All
How much is like the Bane dog or whatever that like stupid Imperial Guard Melta tank? Let's see.
That's right, but he's got the Power Fist, which is -1 to hit.
Yeah, so it evens out.
Dude's got wrecked by 8 Armigers and a bunch of Zangor Enlightened in Warhammer. That is wild! Somebody send me the Zangor Enlightened list. That sounds amazing.
I was looking. That dude's like a 70 point psyker, like just a Thousand Sun psyker. I almost managed to fit him in that like
Zangor
4
Enlightened
horseman
are the
list.
bow guys. So they're the bow guys on the
Oh.
discs. They're like
The
surfer
Zangor's
dude bowmen.
the Zangor shaman is the psyker.
Yeah.
I tried to fit that dude in that like 4 horseman list, but I just barely couldn't on an Ox detach.
Gavleaf got a Night Preceptor, 3 Marks, 3 Wargaves, 2 Halvarans with the Tempestus Patrol. That sounds great, actually. The Tempestus is really important to actually score secondaries, but like once you do that, you know, like a lot of times, what do you do against a Knight, right? Like if you can't kill it, if it's a character, it can heroically intervene, so you can't reliably take objectives from it, and it just like kills everything on the objective. Like it gets obsect away pretty easily, but other than that, you're like, ooh.
This Armigar is like 15 more points than a Hellhound with the Melta Cannon.
Those Hellhounds are not very
This
good.
poor Imperial Guard.
Kill him.
Games Workshop spent like a solid 20 years doing nothing but making Imperial Guard Forge World tanks and just like obsessing about them with every battle report. And then whoever was like in charge of that team just like went on his boat and went to the west with the rest of the elves. And they have just like, ugh,
Oh,
just
wait,
abandoned
yeah,
this
sorry.
this
I should've
faction
been hitting
with
on
a cold
3s on
shoulder.
Dante, but... Oh my god, I should have been hitting on 3s this whole time. I
Were
completely
you hitting on
forgot that-
4s?
No, 2s, because I forgot that Senga now a -1 to be hit.
Ooh, looks like the players just played without Death Mask this entire game.
Oh! yes, they are.
Ooh,
Oops.
that's awkward. Well, that's what we get for talking about Armigers this entire time.
Well, we talked about the Death Guards before, or Death Masks before. I mean, that's a little bit
Well,
on
yeah,
them, too.
we also did not watch their rolls super closely. In fairness,
That's true.
it's a little bit on us. Chat, I promise, we'll be more engaged during actual invitational games.
Games where Mortarion isn't spinning like a Beyblade and just killing an entire Blood Angels army alone.
Yeah, we're playing a little fast and loose today because this is just a test stream.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate that the players
We're having fun in here, though.
Yeah, we're willing to come on and play through this game. So it looks like that was the end of the Blood Angels' turn. The Sanguinary Guards still haven't been cleared, but they did. I mean, we did a little bit of a number on Mortarion. He's down 13 wounds to 5. But
every turn.
he is
Not dead.
not dead, and also not engaging the Sanguinary Guard anymore. So they're just going to get shot.
Significant amount.
Yeah, or the Eradicators, who are also about to get shot.
The Blood Angels player commenting that Ash has not failed a Tallyman roll this game. That's because she has 2, and you get to roll both of them. So if either of them rolls a 7, then you just get a CP. So
Can't wait to see Dude's running those Tallymen. He's just gonna manage to get like 4 CP a turn somehow. Like,
yeah, you're only allowed
mysteriously.
to get 1, but his every time he clicks the button, it'll go up by like 5 or 6. Actually, realistically, Deuce is gonna play. If Deuce plays Death Guard, he's gonna play nothing but Blightlord Terminators because he can be ensured that they charge out of Deep Strike.
No, Dude's in the chat. Dude's is in the chat actually
Deuce
asking if
in
this
the
is your
chat.
map.
This is my map, Dr.
Yeah.
Dutz.
We workshopped this one together a little bit, I think.
Throw an @Dutz in the chat real quick for us. And here, I'll throw one in here too.
Yeah, let's all do it.
There you go. @Dutz for everybody. And you can get this map in the Rules and Resources section right now, Dutz, actually. The first 4 maps for Season 3 have been posted.
Is the Chaos one up there yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Corner to corner.
Have you already renamed it?
I'm in on corner to corner. That sounds good. Gav, the Blightspawn relic with the Ferryman strat is obscene. Which strat is which relic? First of all, are we talking about the fight last relic or the shoot 7 times relic? Oop, where'd my codex go?
Is the Ferryman strat the +1 damage to
Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn all these
to the flamer weapons?
because I'm the Ferryman
Is
strat is you increase aura abilities by 6 inches. That does sound gross.
Oh yeah. For the 12 the all game 12-inch bubble of fight last. Yeah,
Yes.
that one's really good. Yeah, the +1 damage on spray weapons combined with the flat 7 relic is also quite scary. Where that guy just like blasted out 7 shots.
Virion keyword.
That's all of the little guys. That's the that's like that's the Tallyman and all of his like little buddy elites. That's just a thing on their data sheet. Like every one of them has it.
Yeah, it is Fetid Virion.
So does the spray guy.
Yeah.
Yep. The blight rack guy. I think the medic does. I think.
Pretty cool. That is good, chat. That sounds disgusting and gross, and I hate it. I would like them to clarify aura abilities, because it is weird to me that relics confer an aura ability, even though it's not an ability. But that is how it works.
I'm gonna just default to the belief that all radius measurement effects are auras. Because for a long time, like, the psychic powers that were like exploded out for damage were auras, and still are, I believe.
Yeah.
So I imagine the Contemptors slam into the Eradicators here, finish off that threat, probably finish off Dante here. The man's he's in strong combat actually. He's fine. On 1 wound too. What happened to him? This poor guy.
I think he ate a swing from Mortarion.
It's gonna be. It's good. He has got that Imperium like healthcare plan to be in the.
Gavleaf, yeah, Mortarion does turn off synapse. Interestingly, if you turn off the auras, if you like sync like one like Lord of Contagion into Tyranid Warrior unit, and then with the no auras Warlord trait, and then use the -4 lead strat, they just like run away immediately.
I love that strat. I love that combo.
Yeah, I love it. Pretty good. You can make even fearless stuff run away with Death Guard.
It's like a secondary based on that too.
Yeah. I even you
Yeah,
can.
true enough.
It even turns off other sort of leadership affecting things. So like a lot of stuff uses other models' leadership. Inquisitors really donate their leadership to other stuff. Chaplains do that, and you can turn off all of those abilities with the no auras Warlord trait. I mean, that Warlord trait is like insane, amazingly incredible. So.
Unfortunately, though, that Lord of Virulence guy moves 5 inches. He's not having the easiest time pulling that off.
Well, so here's the thing, though, right? Because Dutes is playing him, and he teleported him. So he just made a charge out of Deep Strike.
You're right. I forgot. How foolish of me to forget.
Yeah.
On Dude's data sheet, it just says he makes all 12 inch charges.
Only out of Deep Strike, though. So
Yeah, only.
it's only when you come in out of reserve.
Or when you just like are casually walking around the table with Thousand Suns infantry.
Dude's in the chat says he saves his Miracle Dice for his Rubric Marines.
That's it. That is one army I think is going to be very strong into Death Guard. It's just bog standard. You make the army like it looks on the front of the box, Thousand Suns.
Yeah, let me tell you what doesn't care about -1 damage is like 70 Inferno Bull Guns. There you go. They're like, yeah, it's okay. We were only doing 1 damage anyway. Man.
Or smites.
Or 2d6 mortal wound smites, you know?
Or the ability to repeatedly deep strike around the board to keep positioning yourself farther and farther away from their like deadly short range units.
Yep. As we talked about it in the Mortarian DHE deep dive, Magnus does sink 14 wounds into that guy if everything goes perfectly and nobody denies any of his powers. So, you know, just do that.
Didn't that like Thousand Sun squad just dump in front of them also do like 6?
Oh yeah, if the Rubric's like bomb gets vets and double taps into him, it
Yeah.
does like a bunch of damage. Yeah. Because also if it's top of 1, he's also not -1 to be hit, so they hit on 2s.
And like Mortarion does not kill too many of them. Even with the full 21 converting all shots, that's
Yeah.
like 7 dead out of that squad. They just walk away.
Yeah,
Do
Mortarion
it again.
himself, yeah, probably doesn't do too much back because he's only 1 damage with his little swings, and his big swings
Yeah.
bounce up against like a 4+ bomb, so he's like, ooh.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I don't know why I had brain fart. It's fine.
Rob FTW, Grey Knight Purifiers, their eyes glow for Mortarion. That sounds hot, man. Some glowing eyes.
I actually think Grey Knights are gonna be great into him. Like if the Death Guard player just kind of like is the bad half of that flat-headed brain beam guy in the game and just runs him straight forward, he's just gonna take 5 4 damage smites
yeah.
and like sit down and go to sleep.
There's going to be a lot of situations where if the Mortarion player is not good, they will lose.
Yeah.
Turns out when you put a 500-point model that like your game plan revolves around on the table, you need that guy to survive.
It also changes like without being automatic, like without Magnus being an automatic include anymore. He's more threatened by Grey Knights. Like previously, he would just like swoop in and cut half of your paladin unit out.
Speaking of cutting half the paladin unit out, all of the Sanguinary Guard are dead.
Oh.
Rip.
Oh no. So have the Blood Angels killed a model?
Well, they've killed. If you count the half of Mortarion that they've killed and the half of this Plagueburst Crawler, yes.
I'm okay to call it.
Well, it looks like we might just be
All right.
wrapping it
I
up
don't-
here. I think that's fair.
Like I could shoot Mortarion a couple of
Yeah, I don't know
times,
that
but it's not
the
gonna do
remaining
anything good, and I don't think
this
I can
entire
kill him.
Iron Blood's army is gonna kill this guy.
We could do it. We got. Oh no, we're running low on eradicators. I mean, we got 2 eradicators left, right? Like, hey, we just roll hot on those guys.
Maybe.
Um,
But
Chat,
I mean,
well-
it would be.
looks like while we're discussing the concession here, which definitely fair.
Yeah.
For anybody interested in playing some TTS 40K, the first Season 3 Rapid Fire pod is going to be opening up immediately after the stream. And so I will, in preparation for that, send everyone the link to it. So if anybody wants to join, you can. This event is a 3-round tournament. There's a $10 entry fee, and the winner gets half of the entry fee as prize support. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in chat right here. Here's the BCP link. And we will be using these new maps from Season 3. So anybody who wants to get in for some competitive play, you can do that. Standard pods are going to be live later on this month, sort of as we go through invitational stuff. But we'll be running rapid fire pods all the way through. So anybody who wants to join that can. Looks like Twitch won't let me post a link. Come on, Twitch.
Chromathrow asking if
go.
Mort is good. Yes. As of the new codex, Mort is quite good.
Yeah, he is super good. I don't think. I mean, some people are freaking out about him. Like, oh my god, we're never gonna kill him. He's gonna kill my whole army. I mean, clearly, he went into like what is potentially like the best matchup possible for him, which is like a bunch of 2 damage weapons that rely on rerolls.
Yeah.
And he still is almost dead.
Yeah, he only killed their whole army though.
Yeah.
In fairness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, Mort is not unsolvable. I think there's an issue where people are looking at the armies that are very popular in the current meta, and they're going, "Wow, I can't deal with this guy right now." But like,
Terran, he's toughness 8 and
like,
has an invulnerable save. I've never seen that before.
Like we're all concerned, but also Harlequins are looking at an army list, turning it upside down, and trying to figure this math out too. And I don't think they're finding a solution.
Oh yeah. Harlequins might die. Which, you know what? Nothing of value.
And like
that's okay.
Well, they're also so meta warping themselves. Like I feel like this codex is going to do quite a bit to change how the shape of like competitive 40k looks.
I think what's interesting is that the faction that is best against him is also already the best faction in the game. So I'm not sure how much it changes.
One Stampa?
It's
a single Stampa?
Orc Stampas.
It's just the Orc Stomping list.
No, it's one
that faction.
Ash sent me some math earlier this week about with a literally perfect conjunction, a perfect alignment of the stars. You can just straight up, on average dice, one-shot Mortarion with a single Retributor squad. from
sad part
18 inches away.
The sad thing for me is they also did that to the Stampa, so like that's not helping me out.
Yeah. So, Sisters are, despite the fact that Repentia are not very good into this, and they fade a lot of the 2 damage like heavy bolter shooting, they are super duper good against.
Yeah.
The multi-melted specifically are super duper good against this like castles like this. Like,
there is counterplay there though.
As the Mortarion player,
we shoot them with 3 plague the Tyranid player. Yeah, I was gonna say like as Death Guard, you just shoot that unit with your Plague crawlers and pick them all up, and then you send Mort in.
Eventually, you kill them, but they have a hospital there. They're regenerating those ladies. They got like an extra lady they can kill. Like you don't get it easily, and also they usually start 2 units in rhinos anyway.
Yeah.
But Mortarion is 500 points of your army, and if he ever leaves his little hidey hole behind one of these L's, he immediately dies. It's like almost automatic.
He may also signal the return of the Exorcist too. Like he can't hide. He can hide out of the range of Retributors, but can't hide out of the range of that thing. Yeah. And that like the Exorcist slams almost as much damage in.
I mean, also Retributors fire 36 with the strat, right? So like they're gonna get him. Here come the Incursors. We're gonna make a last valiant effort to kill Mortarion. He's down to 2. We almost got it.
All right,
we got 2 units of Incursors coming in here. I believe in them. I believe in Harvey Dent.
Also, despite all pretenses, the score's actually kind of close.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to quickly become not close, right? Because Ash is going to score like 2 more 15-point turns, and we are on 0.
They're going to kill Mortarion, then this Incursor squad is going to kill that entire Death Shroud unit.
Yes, 3 Death Shroud.
Then this other Incursor squad is just going to like shoot this Death Guard Demon Prince to death, who took 2 wounds at some point. I guess probably failing a psychic test. Never cast with that guy. Just don't bother.
Or cast and then just heal it with your Nurgle Demons attachment.
That 4 Horseman list is going to be so good.
Nugatti Knight, Mortarion's also not very good against sort of small units screening him. I agree with that too. If you just physically body block his base with your Battle Sisters and he just has to sink into 5 Battle Sisters.
Yeah, that's not fun.
It just sucks. He's just mad. He's having a little tantrum over there. Damn it. And even if he like gets in and gets stuck in and engages, they just like fall back and shoot him anyway.
if there's any army that probably should be really good against Mortarion, it's Grey Knights. But then, like, past them, it's Sisters.
Yeah, also he's a psyker, and Sisters like super host psychers too. Like, it's just all bad for him. Poor Mortarion. That guy needs some help. He needs a new data sheet where he's immune to meltaguns.
We did give him another point of toughness.
Bunch of zone tropes might get him. I think that may be a direction that Tyranids go in. Hiveguard cannot compete with this. And Exocrines also probably just die. So
you pathogenic the one Exocrine to shoot him once, and then you're just hoping to smash at like play him in a million.
Yeah, even
smites,
then,
right? It's
like 2 CP and he wins on 5s. So you're just like, ooh.
Yeah. What about the Harridan?
Mortarion definitely doesn't just like, super like hyper leap into the air and like judo chop that thing right out of the sky.
I mean, Biovores could also be a solution. Just slapping in Mortal Wound after Mortal Wound. You get like, 3 Neuros, a unit of Zone Thropes, and Biovores. You can take this guy down in 2 turns. Someone
was also theorizing in a YouTube comment that you could get him with Meotic Spores, just like putting a bunch on the table, and if he ever comes you just double move like a bunch of Meotic Spores into him and hit him for a bunch of Mortal Wounds.
Can you imagine if someone brings that Rhino Rush list, and they're like, yeah, I'm just going to run at him with all the flails, and then there's like 400 Meotic Spores in the middle of the table. They're like, come on. Drive your car across this, please.
Yeah. Well, there's also like 3 Biovores in the back too in that matchup, and they just they drop 1 between these buildings and 1 between these buildings and 1 between these buildings, and you're like, no, I can't leave my deployment zone. I think I'm gonna start playing Biovores as soon as we transition to these new maps because they are hilariously good for Biovores.
Yeah, I think Biovores are just great at a Death Guard in a general sense.
Yeah, especially outside of Mortarion and Bloat Drones, like basically nothing in the faction in AE flies.
You also have to dodge a lot of their beginning of battle round mortal activations, like radius mortal damage effects.
Stuff. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
they may actually just clear about a bunch of stuff. Well, that's an interesting flex, right? Because Mortarion may just be incentivized to take like the crappy like on a 2+ deal 1 Mortal Wounds aura, and I would much rather him have that than the.
I think that one might be end of movement. And if that one's end of movement, then it's like...
Okay, yeah, that's...
Yeah, I think they have some that are battle round. I don't remember which. Maybe they don't anymore, actually.
I know the volatile effluence or whatever it is, disease effluence is command phase, but that's when you're engaging something.
Yeah, so that's not helping.
Turns out you cannot engage a spore mine because it's dead at that point. I guess you could pile into it. We did it! Mortarion is down.
Knock that score up 400 points.
Put everything into Mortarion and he'll die. After 4 rounds.
There we go.
Alright, I'm good. I'm done.
Amazing. We got him with the tiny knives on the incursors too.
One of the things is I forgot that my
like when you've got a full up invuln and a -1 damage aura, there's not a lot of difference between a tiny knife and one of these like 1,000-year-old relic blades the Sanguinary Guard uses.
That's true.
I'm taking slightly less damage from me, but
especially when you're going into an invuln, they're actually almost identical.
Yeah.
The sword is +1 to wound, right? That's
using
That's
the
all you
incursors, and I don't know if I like the incursors or the infiltrators better. I think I like the infiltrators better just because I have the I can make one of them the mini.
Chad's surprised he doesn't have a strat to come back to life. He's got like a it's like a resurrection protocol. Yeah, on a 4-up, he comes back with D3 runes remaining or whatever.
Is Gilliman's armor.
Oh, that'd be gross. Cheddar Page's Mostico Morty has 2 different regiments with commissars in the company are Mordian and superheroes who carry experts with jury rigged.
Yeah, I mean, like two Shadow Swords pulls that guy right off the table, like turn 1 anyway.
I mean, also like Lehman Russ demo cannons. Like as soon as he comes in, you're just like, all right.
Yeah.
There's a billion D6s of damage. Like
just 200 guardsmen with 20 las cannons and Relic of Loscadia.
Yeah. Our Vengeance for Cadia too, right? Just like super like turbo nukes that guy. Yeah, interestingly, Astra Militarum actually might be okay. I guess
imagine this dude just like
get pushed off of objectives quickly, but I don't know.
Yeah,
they might have some play.
Imagine this guy like staring down the barrel of just 200 10-man, like just 20 10-man squads of guardsmen. He's like, what?
I have no idea what
Yeah.
What do I do?
They're like, we're mathematically identical to a bolter in this situation, bitch.
this list to make it a little better.
You're just like staring at your clock, just like going like, yeah, you're the real weapon here.
Yeah. The guardsman player has to figure they can fast roll to like 25 separate units of guardsmen. You're like, no.
And you just do that like Bugs Bunny meme where it's just like, no.
No. 8 Dark Eldar Grotesque.
Xeno spotted.
Oh, look, we got someone. Got people. Got
Yeah.
people drawn on the table here. We got a message for old Trev.
What we got? What do you? I can't read it.
What do you do when you want anything from the stream, Trevi? Do, 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 do.
We are done. All right. I heard that the game is over.
Yeah,
I got
that's
the-
like
I got
a
the
good.
message somehow.
It's like a good like castaway maneuvering, and just writing it out there on the beach with some rocks.
I did it. I killed Morty.
I mean,
Solid.
We let out a
I-
great whoop in chat when Morty went
Yeah,
down.
very excited.
I think
mean,
that
I
was
said
the that's the primary objective, right? Like you don't have to stand in these circles; they don't matter. It's all about killing the demon.
Yeah. I probably should have gone for Raise the Banners, but I was trying out a couple of things that I personally have never done before, and I was kind of hoping to be able to do a little bit more, and then about turn 2 I was like, well, I can't do anything because this stupid demon is in my way.
Who put this demon here? Get him out of here. Yeah, we were.
The Emperor put him there.
That's true. It was all his plan. We were surprised that like all of the Sanguinary Guard went into Mortarion sort of immediately. I think it at least to sort of prolong the fight a little bit. We were kind of expecting one unit to come back in the back corner here, and they could hit these Poxwalkers and be at least out of line of sight. There was maybe a charge that could have been made from the Death Shroud into them, but it looked like it would have been relatively tough.
I thought about it. Like, I'm assuming y'all saw me put them there,
Mhm.
but I was playing with the, in my head, I was playing with the placement of them, and I was going to be able to do some shooting, but they would, basically the entirety of the Sanguinary Guard would have been way back here, and I could have killed 1 or 2, and then I wouldn't have been able to see anything.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah, we were
I
just
thought
expecting a charge from those guys, I think.
Yeah, you just
To the
don't
corner.
shoot them at all, and then you hit them like 50 times with your hands.
Yeah, and I had thought about it, but I was hoping to do more and possibly take Morty out a turn or 2 early. And I ended up overcommitting, but in the end, I don't think it would have saved me at all. And I would have just died to the Dreadnoughts anyway.
Yeah, he is certainly a tough matchup, especially for this like Sanguinary Guard style of Blood Angels, where like so much of your output is just coming from these damage 2 weapons.
Yeah.
Are we dropping
And
Linkin
it
Park
is-
lyrics on the table here?
Like,
Go ahead. What were you saying?
well, it's the damage reduction 1 on everything is just kind of painful. It's like, hey, we heard y'all liked heavy bolters, but would like to have something that does a little bit better. So let's give you +1 damage to the heavy bolter, and then give this army -1 damage.
So it's just a regular
So
heavy
you-
bolter at that point, you know?
Yeah, you netted nothing.
Yeah. So, in fact, outside of the +1 wound on the infantry, heavy bolters are actually even better at killing Death Guard than they were previously, right? So it's all upside. Because they used to have a damage ignore, but now they don't. So get those heavy bolters back, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't know, like...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You're up.
Oh. So I actually... I picked this list up and I did some tweaking on it from Bolter and Chainsword. As somebody was talking about it, and because I'm not entirely invested in the Death Company captain anymore, just because his damage output kind of tanked. Like, there are some neat things I've seen, but not the Smash captain of old. Because that was one of the things that Ash and I were talking about. And like my list was intended to be either right up in your face, like with the Death Company, tying up the Plague Marines, and then tying up the Crawler, and then absolutely dying on the Crackback. I probably should have thrown the entirety of the attacks into the Plague Marines, and then hammered the Crawler home.
Yeah, we were almost hoping that you could get all if you were swinging everything into the Crawler, at least like get a pin to force the Desperate Breakout. Not that a list with 2 Tallyman is like super strapped on CP, but at least that forces the unit to like back off of the objective a little bit. Or yeah, like you said, just like sink into the Plague Marines and kill them and make holding objective 3 a little bit dicier. Yeah.
I also was not expecting the sheer audacity of the Dreadnoughts. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the exploding hits into mortal wounds is gross, right?
Yeah. That was definitely something I...
Rerolling 1s, exploding 6s. These are totally balanced for 175 points per model, right?
Mm-hmm. Seems good.
It's value.
And you know what? They cost 1 CP each, but what does 1 CP matter when you're running 2 Tallymen?
I mean, they know the exact number, right? That it costs, because they write it down.
Yeah, but they're writing everything down, so the numbers kind of get lost in
They gotta flip back through their notes like something fierce. They gotta get their little nerdling that's on their base to like pass them the other scroll from the other day.
Which scroll from the other day? Which other day?
Just
start passing scrolls.
Sir, you never stop writing. It's nothing but scrolls.
Oh.
Just stop doing math, Tallyman. It's tearing us apart. Well, thanks for playing, you two.
Yeah, no problem.
That was at least it was fun to watch. At least Mortarion get pig piled on, and we could see exactly how resilient that guy is.
Yeah, we're all kind of like we're all kind of seeing into our own futures here.
Yeah, definitely fair.
Trevi, I did tell you exactly how to kill Morty with a 200 point unit, right?
Yes, a single unit of Retributors. We were actually talking about that on
yeah. I prefer killing it with a single 850 point unit.
It's less efficient. Get out of here.
It is less efficient.
How I maxed it out in this most contrived situation.
Yeah, if like the Armarted Lady Retributors like have lost the model somehow that turn, and then also my Esma Pestilence didn't go off or was denied, and then also
and also have a copy flamer and be within 12 but outside of
if you get everything going on, you kill him.
And spend 5 CP.
I mean, if you're gonna kill Mortarion, I don't think there's any number of CP that you wouldn't spend. But yeah, I mean, it'll happen one time.
10 would be too much.
Would it? I think I would spend 10 CP if my opponent was just 500 points down.
Yeah,
that'd probably be okay. An okay trade. I'd play that.
I mean,
that's what Dudes does at the start of every game, right?
Yeah.
Dude spends at least 2 CP to not go first. That's how Dude's games go. Poor guy.
Yeah, but each CP is valued at about 50 points. So if I could spend 10 CP to kill 1/4 of my enemy's army off the off the bat,
That's-
I would do it in a heartbeat.
For sure.
That's how Orcs worked in 8th edition. You immediately just dumped 10 CP on turn 1 to double fire everything with Mordaka.
Yeah, orcs did very
Yeah.
directly translate command points into damage on your opponent's army.
Yeah, on turn 1, it was like you'd start with 18, and you'd be at like 8 somehow by the end of your first turn.
Wild stuff. All right, I think we're gonna let you two go, but thanks for playing. It was fun to have you on stream,
Yeah, no
and
problem.
I think we had a successful outing of our multi-streaming here. So thanks to everybody
Yeah.
in the chat. We had about 90 people for a while, so that was
cool.
pretty good numbers.
If anybody has any like feedback on how to change that, go ahead and just hit me up in the Discord. This list definitely needs some polish.
Yeah, you're Elu Honored of the Lion in the Discord, right?
Yep.
There you go. Boom. Cool. Well, thanks
All right.
everybody. Thanks to the players for playing and everybody in the chat for watching.
Oh, what did you think of the Hellblade, guys?
I mean,
Pretty cool maneuver.
we know it was
Going-
coming, and we were unfortunately we're a little bit sad that the incursors up on Objective 5 didn't get tagged because they would have
Yeah.
been reduced to Movement 1 because they were towing the dents, right?
Yeah, it seems like going second, especially against an army like this, where so much of it just leaps out of its own deployment zone, you actually end up tagging far fewer units with it than you perhaps could. But in a more like ideal matchup, like maybe against Mechanicus, where they're just in a glommed up little star.
What's Aura is also bigger
Be
when you
quite
go
good.
second, right? So it kind of self-corrects.
That's true.
It is it's a cool tech piece though.
135 points is just like...
Well,
Yeah.
I mean that's a
And you got
We
an
were just going around,
Eradicator
that's what
with it, too.
that's what a Warglaive knight costs.
we're talking a lot about Warglaives today.
Fun fact: Blood Angel's Ironclad Dreadnought also 135 points.
Oh, you know what? That's definitely as good as an entire Armiger Warglaive.
For sure. I was looking through this codex, just trying to find something that could slam in huge damage into Mortarion, and I was wondering if the Dreadnought Chain Fist worked on monsters, but it doesn't.
Wham.
Womp.
Rip.
No, I'm not gonna lie. When he threw the plane over there, I was like, oh, that's what that does. I'm in danger.
I'm in danger!
The back of the bus for all Flegum boys, yeah. I do actually like the
Yep.
seismic hammer to Mortarion, though. So Ironclad Dread walks up, slaps him 5 times. It's a flat 5 damage weapon. That's not a bad way to say hi. Gives himself -1, but he's already -1 off of his own psychic power, so it effectively just has no debuff at all.
Yeah.
Winning on 2s. Maybe Ironclads have a little day in the sun coming up. Who knows?
Maybe.
Probably.
They
Not.
suffer from the lack of an invul.
They
Although
mostly
there's the
suffer.
psychic power.
They mostly suffer from the fact that most of the time you're not fighting Mortarion, and then they're
Yeah.
useless.
And they're slow.
That too.
Although I could add in the stupid airplane and tag them onto the airplane with a squad of tacticals or something. Or
be good.
devastators.
Put him in the Dreadnought drop pod.
Is that still legal?
I
I thought they had legends to that.
Yeah, I think they legended it, sadly.
Did they?
The Dreadnought without drop pod? No, that's stuff you can definitely play out. They got a new data
is it?
sheet in Imperial Armor Compendium. Yeah.
I have this thing open. Let's see. Did we get transport? No, Dreadnought drop pod right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
They legended a different drop pod, I think. The Death something. The Death Strike drop pod or whatever.
Oh,
it
Oh.
the missile one. Yeah.
because nobody took it. Everybody looked at it and went, no.
Yeah.
They're like, I looked at it once. It was like, that's kind of cool. How many shot? It's got a heavy bolt. It's got 2 heavy bolters, and that's it.
Yeah, it's real sad.
But yeah, no. All right. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let y'all go. It's 10 o'clock my time, and I gotta get up for work tomorrow. At some point.
Cool. Well,
Y'all have
thanks,
a good night.
Yeah, thanks for playing. And we were glad to have you
problem.
on.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
All right, Shima, should we raid somebody?
I think so.
Let's go a
But who-
raiding. We have AOW 40K Down Under is playing the Australian Masters right now. Let's go.
Ooh.
Let's go visit them. Thanks
Let's
for
go
watching,
say hi.
everybody. I dumped some new links in chat, or the same link again, for Season 3 Rapid Fire 1. So anybody who wants to play some competitive games of 40K, that will be launching as soon as it's full. So I think a lot of people have been asking about it, so that one's going to fill up pretty quickly, so jump on there ASAP. And here we go. Let's go find that channel. Oh no, can I not raid them? What?
They have walls?
It's well, you can also say you don't want to be raided sometimes.
Why'd you?
Nope, there we
Why'd you
go.
hit that
All right,
button?
we got it. We got it. I don't know what's going on there. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Here we go with the raid over on Twitch. Friend, you're on YouTube. You won't raid with us, but you can come join the Art of War Down Under on Twitch anyway. So thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate you tuning in and checking it out. We will be live. I believe the streaming schedule will go up probably tomorrow evening on tts40k.com/invitational. But we should be live Saturday evening with the first game from the invitational group stage. And that is going to be a great time. I think it's going to be 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time is when that goes live. So we'll also have list coverage and games all day Sunday and throughout the coming 2 weeks for the group stage. It's going to be madness. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have a lot of awesome games of 40K coming on. Shuma, thanks for hanging out with me and talking about Armiger Warglaves.
Yep, fun as always. I look forward to talking about Armiger Warglaves more later.
Yeah, so constantly on every game, every game of the Invitational. Just nothing but, WG40K, Warglaive 40,000. That's the game we play. All right, I got to go over here before our raid expires. Here we go to AOW 40K, everybody. Thanks for watching.
All right, bye, everybody.